You're listening to Ad Astra Radio. Since 1949, McPherson's hometown sports station. Keep up with what's happening with Bullpup Sports on the Mac Daily page at adastraradio.com. Ad Astra Radio, home of the McPherson Bullpups.
What are you doing out there? I saw you at the game the other night. Yeah, you. Up there getting mad, acting like we're all out there making $1 million a game. Let me be real with you. This isn't the pros. It's school sports, and it's a game, our game. So please, let us play.
Small sports fans, remember, you cheer for your team. Make noise for the right reasons. This message presented by the NFHS and the NIAAA.
And all student athletes in Kansas.
Ad Astra Radio, home of the McPherson Bullpups.
I'm at a party I don't wanna be at, and I don't ever wear a tie. Wondering if I can sneak out. Nobody's even looking me in my eye. When you take my hand, finish my drink, say shower, you dance, oh yeah. You know I love to do that every day. You make it better like that. Don't think I fit in at this party. Everyone's got so much to say. Yeah. I always feel like I'm nobody. Who wants to fit in? 'Cause I don't care when I'm with my baby. Yeah. All the bad things disappear. You're making me feel maybe I am somebody. I can deal with the bad nights when I'm with my baby. Yeah. 'Cause I don't care as long as you just hold me. You can take me anywhere. You're making me feel like I'm loved by somebody. I can deal with the bad nights when I'm with my baby. Yeah. We at a party we don't wanna be at. Trying to talk what we can hear ourselves. Pictures are at the kiss on my neck. All these people all around me. Critical things are ain't but it's always where it's supposed to be. You know what? It's kinda crazy 'cause I really don't mind. You make it better like that. Don't think you fit in at this party. Everyone's got so much to say. Oh yeah, yeah. When we walked in, I said I'm sorry. But now I think that we should stay. 'Cause I don't care when I'm with my baby. Yeah. All the bad things disappear. You're making me feel like maybe I am somebody. I can deal with the bad nights when I'm with my baby. Yeah. Yeah. 'Cause I don't care as long as you just hold me. You can take me anywhere. You're making me feel like I'm loved by somebody. I can deal with the bad nights when I'm with my baby. Yeah. I don't like nobody but yourself. Yeah, the only one.
The following is a presentation of the Ad Astra Sports Network. Coming up, coverage of McPherson Bullpup football on 98.9 and 1540 KMCP. Bullpup football is streaming online at adastraradio.com and on the Ad Astra Radio app. Coming up on the Midway Motors Drive to the Game, we'll break down tonight's matchup and preview other key games on the Ad Astra Sports Network. Tonight's kickoff is just 30 minutes away.
At Midway Motors, we are here for you for every mile of life. Whether you're shopping for a new or used vehicle or selling one, Midway Motors will buy your vehicle even if you're not in the market to buy one of ours. Just stop by one of our 5 locations and one of our appraisers will evaluate your vehicle and you can leave with a check the same day. It's fast and easy. Visit MidwayMotors.com for more information. Midway Motors, for every mile of life.
Bullpup football on KMCP.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to McPherson Stadium and McPherson High School Bullpup Football.
Good evening and happy Friday. Welcome into coverage of McPherson High School football here on KMCP. Tonight, the Bullpups are finally home sweet home as they take on the 5th-ranked team in 4A, the Chanute Blue Comets. Thank you for tuning in to 98.9, 1540 KMCP at AstraRadio.com, and for listening live on the Ad Astra Radio app, and for watching live on Ad Astra TV. Alongside Nathan Roble, studio engineer Sherry Bruce, and live stream coordinator Jeremy Snap, I'm Lane Gillespie. The McPherson Bullpups are 1-1, coming off of a big league win to start off league play. They are 1-1 now on the season and 1-0 in league play after defeating Circle 34 to 27 over the Thunderbirds on the road last week. It was a game in which they trailed 17 to 14 at halftime, then outscored the Thunderbirds 20 to nothing in the second half. Meanwhile, the Blue Comets come in ready to go after finishing just short, losing in sectionals against Bishop Miege last year after having a terrific regular season of going 6-2, which included defeating McPherson a season ago. They are currently 2-0 on the season, coming off of a 55 to nothing win against Coffeyville Field Kindley, I should say. But today it's going to be a little bit of a cloudy, gloomy day, and we're hoping that the thunderstorms can stay out of the forecast. Currently, McPherson is under a severe thunderstorm watch. Currently, there is some lightning to the north, but it's not causing a delay as it's just outside of the area, and we're hoping it stays that way. But if weather prevails and we're good to go, it should be a fun game on our hands today, Nathan.
Yeah, it really should be. McPherson's coming on, like you said, a big win last week where they really came out in the second half and just decided to enforce their will on an opponent, while Chanute obviously beat Field Kindley 55 to nothing and did the exact same thing. So this is going to be two really good football teams going up against each other. One's undefeated 2-0, and the other one's 1-1 going into tonight.
Well, there's a history between these two schools, but very brief. This is only the second time these two teams have played in both of their schools' histories, and we'll talk with Mark Heidebrecht about that coming up right after this. You're on the Midway Motors Drive to the Game from the Midway Motors broadcast booth. You're listening to Bullpup Football on KMCP.
More of the Midway Motors Drive to the Game coming up. Find exclusive Bullpup content online at adastraradio.com, including schedules, stories, and game day audio. McPherson Bullpup Football on 98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Hey folks, this is Darren Eddy with Ag 360 Insurance in Inman. Farmers, would you like to have your farm and personal insurance handled all by the one agency? At Ag 360 Insurance, we can handle it all with one agent. We would love an opportunity to sit down and visit with you about your insurance needs. Feel free to stop by our office on Old K61 in Inman or give Cody Moores or myself a call today at 620-585-2128 or check us out online at ag360insurance.com.
Whether you want a small home remodel or need repairs done or have a brand new build project in mind, Erickson Custom Building is your choice. All of us at Erickson Custom Building would like to thank our customers for 20 years of business and friendship. Brian and the crew at Erickson have spent those years developing excellent customer service and quality leadership for all types of projects, big or small, traditional or trendy. When your project is finished, it will reflect your vision for quality and follow-through that exceeds your expectations, not your budget. Call Erickson Custom Building or find us on the web at ericksoncustombldg.com.
Controlling your own weather can be easier than controlling anything else these days. This is Julie with RC Heating and Cooling. With a well-working cooling and heating system, you can be in control of your indoor weather at home. With so many things out of our hands, it's a good feeling to have a bit of stability. Call RC for a free estimate on new cooling and heating equipment. Call RC when your unit isn't up to par. Call RC to stay comfortable in any weather. Call RC 241-2787.
Get ready to fill the bucket and save only at Prairie Land Partners John Deere. Get a 5-gallon bucket for just $3 and everything you pack inside is 15% off. Stock up on the essentials like cleaners, grease, fluids, adhesives, paint, hand tools, and more. Don't miss your chance to save on parts you use every day. Stop by your local Prairie Land Partners to fill your bucket and save. Offer ends September 30th, 2025. Some restrictions apply.
Prairie Land Partners.
Bullpup Football on KMCP.
Welcome back to pregame coverage of Bullpup Football as we continue the Midway Motors drive to the game. It's McPherson and Chanute here at Paul Family Field at McPherson Stadium, and now we get to join alongside Mark Heidebrecht to give us the history between McPherson and Chanute. And Mark, pretty brief.
Mighty short history. In fact, we've only played them one time. That was last year on September 20th in Chanute, and Chanute won that game 27-14. And one game ranks 55th out of the 55 opponents we've played since 1920. No surprise there. That's about all one can explain about this series.
Yeah, but I know we talked a little bit last year about it, but just, with the 55 schools that McPherson has played, it was the first time that they, played a school for the first time, and it was quite a few. I want to say, I think 2020 was the last time they played a school for the first time.
That could be. I'd have to check on that.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't happen very often.
Right. I have it pulled up, and there's like one school that they played once in 2020, and that was DeSoto, and that one was a weird one because that was also during COVID, because one school didn't want to travel all the way to the other because COVID regulations, won't say which school, but they decided to meet in the middle and played at Washburn Rural High School in Topeka. So
yeah,
I
remember that.
I say in the middle. That's 2 hours from McPherson. That's about 45 minutes from DeSoto.
So. Well, whatever.
Right. But yeah, it's only one of 5 teams or 6 teams that they've only played once out of their 55. And those others are Independence, Ulysses, DeSoto, and Wichita Heights. Now, oddly enough, this is the stuff that I have pulled on that you sent over from me me from last year. The furthest back that they've only played a team once was 1969. That was Wichita Heights. Now, out of the 5 that the schools are now out of the 6 that McPherson has only played, only 2 of them they did beat, which was Independence and Ulysses. So Chanute's one of 4 that they've only played once but didn't beat, but have a chance to turn it around today with their second meeting against Chanute. And last year was an interesting one, but as we'll talk about more along the Midway Motors drive to the game, a lot of those were self-inflicted wounds, but it should be a fun one today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not much more to say.
There really isn't, because, only one game between the two, and usually these stretch out for a lot longer because, especially with the league opponents that McPherson plays. But no, this was brand spanking new going into last year, and obviously with the 2-year cycle, it this is the second year that in a row, and we'll see if it renews starting next year. I wasn't quite sure. I haven't talked to Coach Pav about that yet, but we'll see if it continues. I know the road trip to Chanute wasn't the greatest. It's about 3 hours, something like that, but it's not the worst. I mean, other schools have to deal with worse.
And how did they come up with a blue comet for a mascot?
Honestly, I don't know. I would love to know.
Maybe somebody can tell you up in the booth.
Yeah, that'd be totally cool. But I will say, Blue Comet's one of the best mascot names in Kansas. I love it. It's awesome. It's very original, and I'm pretty sure they're the only Blue Comets in Kansas.
Might be.
I would have to look up if there's any other Blue Comets in the country. So it wouldn't shock me.
I wouldn't bet on it.
Yeah, but I wouldn't bet on it. So, that's the super duper brief history between McPherson and Chanute. Mark, thank you for taking the time to join us. We'll be on the road against Winfield next week, so we'll give you the history for that next week.
Thank you.
That's Mark Heidebrecht. More coming up next in the Midway Motors Drive to the Game. You're listening to Bullpup Football on KMCP.
At Great Plains Federal Credit Union, we believe in banking that puts people first. Whether you're saving for the future or in need of a loan today, we're here to help you with friendly service and personalized support. Visit us in McPherson, Salina, Abilene, or Hillsboro and see why more Kansans are choosing Great Plains Federal Credit Union, where you're more than just an account number. Great Plains Federal Credit Union in McPherson. Member NCUA.
Life's better when you're under our roof because our agents can help you choose insurance to help protect what matters most. Life insurance from American Family Life Insurance Company can help financially protect your loved ones by replacing a portion of your income if you were to pass away. That means your family can have the help they need to continue to pursue their dreams.
Visit your local American Family Insurance agent, Steve Barr, at 807 North Main, McPherson.
Products not available in all states. American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
American Family Insurance. Some people think the daily moves of the market make stress inevitable when it comes to investing. Hi, I'm Brad Seibel, your local Edward Jones financial advisor. One stress reducer is to have a plan and stick with it during the market's ups and downs. Here's another. Periodically rebalance your investments to align with your needs and risk comfort, and have a good financial advisor to sit down and talk to. Contact me at 620-241-6033. Keeping your investments under control can help keep your emotions in check. Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing, member SIPC.
Most people know you have to change the engine oil regularly, but did you know that there are at least 4 other fluids that need serviced at regular intervals? These include transmission, power steering, brake, transfer cases, and more. Even hybrids require regular maintenance to maximize fuel economy and reduce costly repair bills. Come see the professional service team at Jarrett Automotive to make sure your car is in tip-top condition.
When it's time to give your car some kale, come to Jar. We'll see you there.
Bullpup Football on KMCP.
Welcome back to the Midway Motors Drive to the Game. In the background, you may hear the McPherson Bullpup Marching Band. It's the first time we're going to hear them this season. We're excited for the home opener as the McPherson Bullpups host the Chanute Blue Comets. And as we continue further into the Midway Motors Drive to the Game, how about we give you some people to watch out for both McPherson and for Chanute. So, Nathan, why don't you go ahead and tell us who to watch for the Bullpups?
Yeah, I really think this football game is going to come down to the defensive side, getting stops on defense, getting the football back in good field position. So I really think this is going to start with the Will linebacker, the Mike linebacker, and the Sam linebacker, and Matt Berger, Chase Lowry, and Nolan Piercy. Nolan Piercy is coming off the game where they got McPherson's first takeaway of the year last week with the interception. They've dropped a few of them throughout the first 2 weeks. That time he got to it. I really think it's going to come down to them being able to stop the run and really stop this quarterback the Blue Comets have in Chris Harding II.
Yeah, it's especially, you mentioned that quarterback, one of quite a few skill position guys that are going to be guys to watch out for, including Chris Harding II. He's a 6'1", 202-pound senior. Last year did a terrific job against McPherson, but just all season long was terrific as well, sending Chanute and helping them win regionals a season ago. He threw for over 1,800 yards and had 18 touchdowns, but last week he had 4 total touchdowns, 1 through the air, 3 on the ground, and had almost 190 all-purpose yards between throwing and running. But then they can also rely on their running back, Jalen Duncan, who is seen as a terrific athlete, but just didn't have as much playing time as he did last year, behind a couple of guys who were terrific running backs, especially with Quentin Harding. He was the star of the show of the running back room last year for Chanute. He has since moved on to bigger and better things. In fact, he was one of at least 3 Chanute athletes to play collegiately now. Harding's now playing in Hutch, which they're off to an amazing start, #1 in the country. Same for Elliott Stevenson with Hutch. And then Cade Small, who was an amazing guy defensively and offensively with Emporia State. But the part of the lineup to watch out for Chanute, from what I've seen, is going to be the front line. Who can hold the line of scrimmage? And Chanute, they got a pretty good front line, led especially on the right tackle spot by Brady Alonzo. He is a 6'5", 271-pound right tackle who was an all-conference honorable mention a season ago in the Southeast Kansas Conference. So it's going to be a fun one to watch out for. Coming up next, we'll talk with head coach Jace Pavlovich. You're listening to Bullpup Football on KMCP.
The Midway Motors Drive to the Game continues after this. Midway Motors in McPherson, Newton, Hutchinson, and Hillsboro for every mile of life. Stay tuned as we sit down for a pregame chat with head coach Jace Pavlovich.
Show your Bullpup pride with apparel from Artshirt, Gear for Sport at 211 North Main, downtown McPherson. We offer a wide variety of apparel for everyone in the family, offering sizes from newborn all the way to 4X. We wish all the student athletes a safe and successful season. Go Bullpups!
If you're changing jobs or considering early retirement, you may be wondering what to do with your 401k. Before taking any action, make sure you know the rules, as mistakes can be costly. At Iron Horse Financial, we can show you how to avoid IRS penalties and full taxation, plus a little-known strategy to access funds early. For more info, go to 401krollovermistakes.com and download your free guide. You can also reach us at 620-765-6456.
Welcome back to pregame coverage of McPherson High School football. We continue the Midway Motors drive to the game now with our pregame conversation with head coach Jace Pavlovich. Now, Coach, let's first talk about last week's game. Now, when we spoke last week, this came, after the loss to Great Bend, but Dane Becker had a really good day on the ground, and he had over 100 yards, and you told me how long it had been since you guys had a 100-yard rusher. Now, do you know when the last time you had 200-yard rushers, and including one that had at least 200 yards?
Well, that topic was brought up in the coach's office on Saturday morning, and with the rushing totals that we had, you have to go back to 2017 to see numbers like that. So yeah, it would have been quite a few years ago, 17.
Wow. And I know that, after the game on Friday, you talked about the offensive line and just how tremendous they were, and that was the biggest story of the game. Can you just talk about how important that front line has been, as I know that's been a little bit of a question mark going into this season?
Well, that was a huge question mark going into the season. We felt like we did some good things in our contact camp this summer up front, but, there are so many things that happened through the course of the summer. We actually lost 3 starting offensive linemen that would have been seniors this year. One moved away, one's injured, and one just chose not to play this year. So, you lose 3 guys that had valuable experience. You wonder what you're going to get. And these front 5 guys really worked hard through the course of the summer, and it showed. Really has shown all season. To be able to do what we did against Great Bend's front box is pretty special. And then of course last Friday night, and we're looking for that kind of performance out of them again this Friday night.
It was a tale of 2 halves in your win against Circle last week. Was there just a special message in the locker room at halftime, or did just everything just sort of fall in the right place in the final 24 minutes?
Well, I'd say a little bit of both. In terms of scheme-wise, there wasn't really much we changed up at halftime. There may have been a polite reminder in the locker room as to what our standards are, and we need to perform to that level. But overall, the execution was just much better. Now, and that goes across the board. That's offensively and defensively. And one thing worth noting that we're starting really kind of 1.5 guys on both sides of the ball. And Circle was starting quite a few guys on both sides of the ball. And the same is true tonight. Chanute's starting 8 guys on both sides of the ball. So, our depth is one of those things that I've always felt like we've had an advantage over a lot of our teams here in McPherson. We don't have as many guys out for football this year as what we've had in the past, but what we do have are high-quality players. So we're able to get them onto the sidelines, not just getting them rest on the sidelines, but we have huddle replay. So you'll see our coaches with iPads on the sideline. So, our offensive line, for example, they're working with Coach Corcoran on the sideline in between each series. So when the defense is out, Coach Corcoran's got the iPad, and we're reviewing our last series, which is, that is a tremendous boost that we get. If we're making a mistake, we can get it corrected and be ready to go for that next series. So it's really nice to have that depth.
Well, you go up against a really tough Chanute team tonight. They're 2-0 on the season, and a lot of media members have them ranked. I think the media ranking has them in the top 5. You gave up the really good start to Circle. How do you avoid a good start for Chanute this go around?
Yeah, we got to come out ready to play, and I don't feel like we were ready to play on that first series last Friday night. So. We've just got to make sure that, that first kickoff hits, we're ready to go and firing on all cylinders, because we can't afford, a slow start against a team, like Chanute. So, with the scheduling piece of it, you learn more from losses than you do with wins. And, look at the growth that we had from week 1 to week 2. It was tremendous. We look for another big bump in execution and growth from week 2 to week 3. So these guys, Chanute, we're not going to learn much from playing, powder puffs every Friday night. So,
right.
We wanted this type of schedule. We know that Chanute, they're huge, they're big, and they're physical, and they're well coached, and this is going to prepare us for a postseason run, no question about it.
And then last question, you kind of touched on it in the post game of last week's game. It's your home opener tonight. You're going up in front of an atmosphere that is like no other. So just how exciting is it for just to be at home first of all, and have it be the home opener?
Yeah, our community has always supported us really well. There's been games in the past where after the starters were announced, I just had the kids take a knee and look up at the stands and make sure that they appreciate what the community does for us and all the support they give us, because, it's an intimidation factor when that opposing team is looking into, thousands of people on the home side of McPherson stands. And it really does give us a huge advantage to have that support. And these kids, they do deserve it. What you see on a Friday night is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of what these kids do and the effort that they put in year round. And so it's really special to be able to finally be at home and play in front of our home crowd.
Absolutely. Well, it should be a very, very fun matchup, hopefully a very loud one as well at McPherson Stadium. Coach, we really appreciate you taking the time. Best of luck tonight.
Great. Thank you, sir.
That's head coach Jace Pavlovich. More coming up next in the Midway Motors Drive to the Game. You're listening to McPherson High School football on 98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
We've got more of the Midway Motors Drive to the Game coming up. Midway Motors in McPherson, Newton, Hutchinson, and Hillsboro for every mile of life. 98.9 and 1540 KMCP. The McPherson Bullpups play here.
Hey Bullpup fans, want to make a real difference in McPherson? Join the Bullpup Booster Club today. The Bullpup Booster Club proudly supports all student programs and activities, helping our teams, clubs, and organizations succeed. Your membership helps fund uniforms, equipment, and so much more for our students. By supporting the Booster Club, you're backing all of the Bullpups. Visit bullpupbooster.com to join today. Together we're stronger. Go Bullpups!
Nestled in the beautiful community of Lindsborg, you'll find assisted living at its finest at Sunflower Terrace by Bethany Village. Whether you seek full independence, freedom from cooking, or just a little day-to-day assistance, Sunflower Terrace is a place you can feel at home.
Definitely come to Sunflower Terrace. Get a tour, come and look. And it was very easy, and so it was perfect.
Get your free guide today at sunflowerterrace.com.
Bullpup football on KMCP.
Welcome back to McPherson Stadium. The Bullpups have officially taken the field, but we're still quite a ways out from kickoff here in McPherson for the Bullpup season opener as they host the Chanute Blue Comets. That time now for the starting lineups. Those are brought to you by Ag 360 Insurance. And Nathan, why don't we go ahead and start off with some of the players for Chanute.
Yeah, we talked about him in the last segment, but this starts with the quarterback, number 2, Chris Harding the second. The running backs will be number 13, Jalen Duncan, and number 20, Jordan Patterson. Wide receivers are number 5, Kyson Seamster, number 8, Kason Otis, number 25, Jacob Thompson, and the tight end will be number 22, Asher Love.
For McPherson's defense going up against that Chanute offense, starting off with the front line, Isaac Puhala, Carter Leathers, Dylan Hall, and Jaron Stutzman. In the linebacker core, Matt Berger, Chase Lowry, Nolan Piercy, and in the back line, Keaton Crane, Carter Busker, Dakota Lynn, and Aaron Winter. Now go ahead and give us some of the players for Chanute for defense.
Yeah, it starts with the defensive line. Both defensive ends are number 77, Brady Alonzo, and number 58, Braddox Bancroft. The defensive tackles are number 52, Dirk Hanna, and number 54, Stephen Watson. Linebackers are number 5, Kyson Seamster, number 19, Kemper Manley, and number 22, Asher Love, with the cornerbacks and safeties being number 13, Jalen Duncan, number 8, Kason Otis, number 2, Carson Harding II, and number 6, Gage Cummins.
And then for the McPherson High School offense, it starts off with the quarterback, number 5, Carter Bankson, the 5'8" junior. He had a terrific week last week. The running back core, Dane Becker and Brody Millison, who helped combine the Bullpups for 365 rushing yards last week. The receiver core is Ashton Malm, Isaac Puhala, and Paxton Ingalls. The starting tight end is Bo Barkley. Those are some of the starting lineups brought to you by Ag 360 Insurance. Ag 360 Insurance is here to partner in your legacy. Contact agents Darren Nitty or Cody Moores in Inman. And just as we were ready for kickoff, we are under a lightning delay here in McPherson. So how awesome is that? We're going to have to wait a little bit longer for Bullpup football, but we'll go ahead and give you the final break for the Midway Motors drive to the game. We will go ahead and give you the updates as we go along, and then we'll help to preview this game for tonight. But we are now under a lightning delay. That's terrific. So we will be back in a couple of moments. You're listening to McPherson High School football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
More of the Midway Motors drive to the game coming up. Find exclusive stories highlighting Bullpup athletics at adastraradio.com. The McPherson Bullpups play on 98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Vince Lombardi once famously stated, "Individual commitment to a group effort is what makes a team work, a company work, a society work." I'm Keith Razak, and along with the insurance team at Farmers Alliance, we're cheering on all the local competitors this season. Your passion for the game and loyalty to your school fill us all with the sense of pride. Thanks for showcasing top-notch sportsmanship and talent, influencing our community in a positive way. Just remember, at Farmers Alliance, through it all, we're your biggest fans.
Get back to doing what you love with Advanced Physical Therapy in McPherson. Whether you're recovering from injury, surgery, or just want to move with less pain, their expert team is here to help. Call or stop by Advanced Physical Therapy in McPherson today.
Do you need custom shirts, hoodies, polos, or other apparel printed? Whether it's for your sports team, business, or church, 37 Print Co. in Hutch has you covered. Hi, I'm Amanda. Check out our work on Facebook, 37 Print Co. We print shirts.
When you work hard, make sure you have a service that works hard for you. With reliable coverage and the latest devices, you can go farther with Nextech Wireless. Right now, get an iPhone 16 Pro and an Apple Watch 10 on us. That's right, on us. Nextech Wireless, connecting Kansans.
Ready for banking at your fingertips? With Farmers State Bank's mobile banking app, Take Charge. Turn your card on or off, boost spending limits, transfer funds, set security alerts, change pins, and travel worry-free. Your money, you're in control. Farmers State Bank, more than just a bank. Member FDIC.
Want your favorite fall carnival treat without the mess? Scoot on by Scooter's Coffee for a caramel apple sparkling float. Green apple flavor, creamy caramel float, whipped cream, and caramel drizzle. Scooter's Coffee, amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast.
Scooter's Coffee in Hutchinson, McPherson, Salina, and Abilene.
Bullpup football on KMCP.
Well, we welcome you back to McPherson. Just when we thought we were moments away from kickoff, we get the address from Jason Fish, the public address announcer, saying we are currently under a lightning delay here in McPherson. Now, not long ago, there were thunderstorms detected a little bit north of us, and actually McPherson was put under a severe thunderstorm watch, I would say about 45 minutes to an hour ago, and that watch is under effect until 11 o'clock tonight. But yeah, currently we are under a lightning delay. Lightning was detected just actually a few miles southwest of us, about 4 miles away, and because of that, they are asking everybody to seek shelter. A lot of people are not quite abiding by that because they don't see any lightning or hear any thunder, but they say, you know, if you want to seek shelter, to go into the sports center, which is located just to the south of Paul Family Field here at McPherson Stadium. So what we're going to do, we're going to try to keep you entertained while we figure out what the update is. Now, Nathan, you have your radar pulled up. Can you put on your weatherman hat and tell us what possibly may be happening?
Well, as of right now, I believe we're going to be in periods of severe thunderstorms and rain for the next 33 or so minutes, which would kind of take us through this first set. That would obviously reset after that. So if it all comes through, I think we're looking at I wouldn't say lengthy delay, but probably into a second lightning delay at some point.
The unfortunate thing is that Chanute has already made the drive, and they weren't, as far as I know, they weren't planning on booking a hotel. They were going to come here and then leave once this game was done and take about the 3.5 hour drive back home to Chanute. So the thing is, it would be hard to postpone this, especially by like 24 hours or something like that, because then you're asking them to go back and then come back. Obviously, with this being the home opener for McPherson, it's obviously no issue for them. But, I would assume, right now the plan is, regardless of what time this game starts or ends, this will probably be played tonight. These storms are not projected to stick around that long. If we thought that they would, we probably would have already had like a postponement or something. But yeah, as I'm checking on my weather app, there is a possibility we could get a decent chance of rain for quite a few minutes, actually just starting in a few minutes from now, and there is a little bit of lightning that comes with that. Now, it's severe weather, they say, but it's not horrible. It's nothing like the about 2-inch or 1 to 2 inch hail that we got a couple of weeks ago. But the weather threat is obviously lightning, which, they can deal in football. They can deal with the rain. Heck, they can deal with the monsoon. When the lightning comes into play, that's when the safety factor comes in. Especially, there's a lot of metal everywhere, especially with the band, them having their instruments. There's a lot of safety matters that come with it. So, yes, if you're just joining us, if you're tuned in for McPherson High School football, we are currently under a lightning delay. The delay started about 7 minutes ago. Started at 6:55. I'll have to remember to keep that in my noggin. It started at 6:55. We thought we were going to be good to go for kickoff, but then the public address announcer told us just a few moments ago that we are in a lightning delay. Now, this doesn't really come to a shock for me, mostly because Lindsborg, where we have coverage of Smoky Valley football on Smoky Hills Rock, our announcer for that, Dusty Dynast, did say Lindsborg was under a lightning delay, and that was about an hour ago. I don't know what if they've started or if they're going to start on time. I assume probably not. I believe the rule is with lightning in the area, I forget exactly how far of a distance. I want to say 15 miles. And it has to be, 30 minutes from the last lightning strike that is detected in the area?
Correct. 30 minutes from the last lightning strike. I want to say, I think you're right, anywhere between 10 and 15. The problem with some of these storms right now is that they're all really kind of north of us, and they're moving southeast, kind of right into us a little bit. But it should, for the most part, stay just to the north of us. But
yeah, so I'm sorry to cut you off. There's basically a huge cell, but that should stay north of us. Heck, even north of Salina for the most part. So that should be good. It's just basically little, if you think about it on a radar, it's little blips, little dots that are kind of extending with that are starting to come into our area.
Yeah, and which you can deal with those. But I do know if this is delayed any further, I know there's some forecasted severe weather, forecasted thunderstorms tonight around noon or around the midnight hour to around the 2 a.m. hour. So you're going to kind of run into the front side of those if you delay any more longer than about an hour and a half, 2 hours, in my opinion. So if we can get this game in and get started as kind of as quickly as possible, then we'll be A-okay. But it appears as though rain is starting here, and people are starting to, for lack of a better word, flood the exits.
That's terrific. A lot of them brought out their umbrellas. I guess they were prepared. One of them even holding up their blanket to keep themselves covered. One holding up the game program, and even though that's a different type of paper, that's not going to protect you for that long. But,
no, I later on, maybe if this continues to go, we'll see how long. Maybe I'll go out there for science purposes and figure out how long that takes to protect you.
Yeah, for sure. But, again, we are currently under a lightning delay here in McPherson. The Bullpup football team was expected to kick off about 5 minutes ago against Chanute, but that lightning delay started about 10 minutes ago. We'll reach out to Athletic Director Shane Bacchus, and then we'll see if we get any updates from him. But, as it currently stands, and we do have downloaded the app that they use. It's not something super special like a super expensive app. It's free, but it basically tracks the lightning in the area that they have. And right now it says the closest strike was about 4 minutes away or 4 miles away, and that was within the last 30 minutes. So that is what they go off of, and they say, remain in a safe area. For safety information, it says about 10 miles away if it's within 30 minutes. Some people, even our studio engineer, Sherry Bruce, said, she didn't know if, we probably were going to be under one because she heard a roll of thunder. I didn't quite hear one, but I also had my headset on. But at the same time, there's the adage where if you see lightning, sometimes if it's in the distance, you're fine. When thunder roars, go indoors. That's the adage. And, some people heard thunder. And when you hear thunder, that means that the lightning is close enough. There's a storm coming in, and seek shelter.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you want more of these riveting updates, don't turn that radio dial. Stay right here with us and continue as we continue to bring you coverage throughout the rest of this lightning delay.
For sure. We'll have fun, but not too much fun. We'll have fun here as we continue on the with coverage of Bullpup football as we give you coverage during this lightning delay. Right now, they kind of have, for whatever reason, I think kind of like a warm-up period for whenever the teams come back onto the field. Right now, they're in their locker rooms, but they do have 5 minutes up on the scoreboard, but it's not starting. And I think they're just kind of waiting for that for when the teams kind of get the go-ahead to come back onto the field and then get a quick warm-up period. And then we haven't even had the coin toss yet. We actually were about to have the coin toss when when everybody came in and said we're going to have a lightning delay, but we didn't have that quite yet. We'll take a break. We'll be back in 60 seconds here at McPherson Stadium, and we'll talk a little bit more and see if we can give you updates while we are currently under this lightning delay. You're listening to coverage of McPherson High School football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
Hey Bulldogs fans, this is Lester Amos, defensive tackle for McPherson College football. We want the whole community to show out for the homecoming game matchup Saturday, September 27th at 1 o'clock when we go against the Ottawa Braves, supported by People's Bank and Trust. Purchase season passes and single game tickets online at macbulldogs.com. That's Saturday, September 27th at 1 o'clock. You won't want to be anywhere else. It's a great day to be a Bulldog.
I'm Jared. Since 1948, we at Krupp Lumber in Heston have been helping customers all over the state choose the perfect lumber, right tools for the job, and provide quality products to make their homes stand the test of time. Krupp Lumber has all the best brands like Milwaukee Tools and outdoor power equipment, Marvin and Anderson windows, and R.D. Henry cabinets. Ask about our in-state delivery. Check us out at krupplumber.com. Krupp Lumber. Service is our specialty.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Welcome back to McPherson Stadium. Still in a lightning delay that started about 13 minutes ago here at McPherson Stadium. We saw a little bit of rain showers. Some people kind of left the stadium during that, but some are starting to make their way back. No update yet on when we will begin, but the lightning delay began literally about 5 minutes before kickoff, and we are still awaiting the kickoff between McPherson and Chanute for McPherson's home opener. So, not a fun way to spoil the home opener. But that's starting a little bit later than we would have liked. While we were away, we were kind of taking a look at the score for the Kansas City Royals as that scoreboard update brought to you by McPherson Dental Care. How about, 7-1, bottom of the first inning?
And more importantly, yes, 7-1 here, but more importantly, there was already an ejection from the game as the Blue Jays pitching coach, Pete Walker, has been thrown out by home plate umpire James Jean. First inning, second batter.
I was going to say, there's not even 3 outs in the bottom with your defense in the first inning, and already someone getting thrown out. Very interesting. Also, a couple of high school updates. There are a couple of games going on right now. Including Sterling and Inman. Inman does have an 8-0 lead over Sterling. Andale is on the road against Rose Hill, and in one play, Andale scored, surprise, surprise, and it's 6-0. I say surprise, surprise because Andale's scoring average this year is 70, 75 points a game after putting up 104 in week 1, and then they also got a blowout win last week too, so that's,
Yeah, the thing that I would want to know is the ratio between plays that Andale runs where they don't score and when they do score.
We'll have to ask Dylan Sherwood about that. He's the voice of Andale this year, and we'll have to definitely give him a talk about that. We'll ask him. I know he's definitely had a lot of fun calling Andale, Andale scores. He's probably called a lot more than he has in the seasons past with other teams that he's covered. No offense to any of the other teams, but still, just with Andale's been pretty good to start off the year. Nathan, you're not going to like this update. Lions currently trailing 6-0 against Republic County, just a little under 5 minutes in.
Drat.
I say that. He's a Lions native. That's why I say that. So those scoreboard updates are brought to you by McPherson Dental Care, providing healthy smiles with a gentle touch. We'll also take a look at social media for some that there may be. There's actually one game. It has nothing to do with here, has nothing to do with anything around the area, but it's a game that is definitely on a lot of people's radar and is probably, in my mind, going to be one of the biggest games in the state of Kansas all season long. That's Manhattan at Hayes. That's 6A number 1 at 5A number 2. I don't know about you, but my money's on the Indians. They're both the Indians. But, yeah, that's a big game. That's one they're looking out for, especially Hayes actually just opened their new stadium this season. This is, I believe, their second game in their brand new stadium. So what a start. Just it's going to be it's terrific just what we've seen out of Hayes, especially they had a Cinderella run last year. They were, I believe, the number 8 seed in the 5A state tournament. They went all the way to the state championship. They finished as runners-up, but it was a Cinderella run, and that's taken over into this year. We also have another score update. Bueller is hosting Great Bend. That's a huge game as well. Great Bend strikes first, leads 7-0, almost 7 minutes in to that ball game. Back here in McPherson, though, we are still under a lightning delay as the lightning delay began almost 20 minutes ago, but as storms started coming into the area, we had a little bit of rain showers. Those have kind of cleared up a little bit, but still no word yet on when we will actually start up the game between McPherson and Chanute. It is the McPherson home opener for this season. Their first 2 games are on the road. They lost to Great Bend in week 1, but then defeated Circle a week ago in what was a terrific game. Now, one little tidbit that I do want to share about that game. You know, one guy that we talked a little bit about in this pregame, but probably not enough, was Brody Millicent. He had 200 rushing yards last week against Circle, and that came, if I can pull it up right here, that came on 17 carries. All right, it looks like we're actually going to start up pretty soon, as both teams are about to come onto the field. They'll have a 5-minute warm-up, and then we'll get started. But continuing on with pregame, a guy that we're going to look for is Brody Millicent, who's one of the running backs for this Bullpup squad, and 200 rushing yards on 17 carries last week at Circle. He is the school's first 200-yard rusher since 2018, 7 years. The guy that last ran for 200 yards in a single game for McPherson High School was Jace Kinnaman. He did it 3 times that season in 2018, but the most recent one that he did, or the last time, was against Arc City in the second round of the playoffs, where he had 228 rushing yards on 28 carries and 5 touchdowns. McPherson won that game 62-28, but pretty good company when it comes to that.
Oh yeah, I mean that is that Brody Millicent doing what he did last week, and being in the same sentence and the same comparison as Jace Kinnaman and what he did in that 2018 year, where in those games Mac scored an average of 66 points, 67 points. It's just unreal, and it shows just what happens when you have a really, really good back, and Brody Millicent is turning into a really good running back.
For reference, McPherson as a team last year, not individually, as a team, ran for over 200 yards once last season, and that was against Rose Hill, where they ran for 220. They as a team ran for 365 yards last week, but they also in total offensively had 514 yards. That is the first 500-plus yard game of offense since October 22nd, 2021, and the most since September 11th, 2020 against Circle, when McPherson had 536 yards and won 41-0. It's a terrific, terrific start just for this offense for McPherson, and especially one that doesn't have a ton of experience. I mean, the bigger position guys, or the skill players, the skill positions, quarterback, wide receiver, running back, are juniors. And they're helping put this offense at a level that it's already been at, and it's incredible to see so far.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they are the experience they got last year in some limited action and now translating it over. Dane Becker had a little bit of experience at running back last year. I know we were talking about Brody Millison there, but kind of switching it over to all of them, like you said, I mean, Carter Bankston had a limited time last year as well. So those reps are critical moving forward, and now they're really getting solid reps. They're learning how to run an offense, and they're doing it really well, especially in the last half of football that they played. It's taken them a second. They played a really good Great Bend team. They did some good things on tape. It didn't end up the way they wanted it to. Then they went to Circle. They didn't have a very good first half, to put it as bluntly as possible. In that second half, they really kind of came alive and became the Bullpups offense that we thought they would be to start the year.
For sure, but this is going to be a tough Chanute team to go up against. And you know what? While we wait for the kickoff, it will still be in about 4 minutes. Why don't we get to just some keys to a victory for today, and why don't we start off for just Chanute and just what we have for those keys to victory.
Yeah, I think it's using your playmakers well. If their quarterback Chris Harden can get going and not only throw the football but rush the football as well. He had over 70 yards rushing last week. If they can do that really well, they're going to have success in getting their guys out in space. They really don't need to take shot plays. They can just have long, sustained drives, just kind of, for lack of a better term, nickel and dime you to death a little bit as well. And then on the defensive side, if they can stop the run and really force Carter Bankston to throw the football, they're going to have success on that side as well.
Well, last year when these two teams met, McPherson was 1-1 coming off of a win against Circle. Chanute was 2-0. And McPherson did have a legitimate shot to beat Chanute, but there were so many mental mistakes, a lot of high snaps, and just some unforced errors that they made in that game. So obviously the biggest key is to minimize the mental mistakes for McPherson. The other thing, which they did a good job of last week, and they're going to have to do so again, you got to hold the line of scrimmage, especially against this really tough D-line that Chanute has. And then finally, don't overthink. Just go out and play. Go out, have fun, and then worry about what's on the scoreboard later. So those are some of the keys to victory for today. We'll take a 60-second timeout. Then we got kickoff, finally, between McPherson and Chanute. You're listening to Bullpup Football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
Here's a bright idea. Streaming without buffering. It's not 2014. There's no reason for laggy internet and buffering shows. IdeaTech has the technology. It's fiber optic cable. IdeaTech has brought high-speed fiber to 75 communities and counting. Don't put up with outdated internet. Stream without buffering. Another bright idea from IdeaTech.
Get fast, modern IdeaTech internet at ideatech.com.
From spring planting to landscaping and fall cleanups to winter snow removal, LS Tractor is your warmest pack tractor for all seasons. Our universal skid steer quick attach system makes switching out attachments a breeze, and our tough heavy lifting loaders give you added strength for any job. Start with reliability and power, stay for a wide range of capabilities, attachments, and implements. Get more features for less money. Start blue, stay blue with LS Tractor. Visit Moundridge Tractor, where customer service has been our business since 1985.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Welcome back to Paul Family Field at McPherson Stadium. We are just moments away from kickoff between McPherson and Chanute for the season opener, or the home opener, I should say. A little bit later than we anticipated because of a brief lightning delay during the pregame, but that has almost come to an end. We're still waiting on the opening coin toss for this game, and then both teams will be up and ready to go for this contest. So go ahead and go through the weather conditions for this game at kickoff, which is a little bit later than anticipated. 79 degrees, cloudy with some showers here and there. The wind is going from south to north at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. It'll be mostly cloudy for pretty much the entire evening, and once we get out of here at around 9, 10 o'clock, should be in the low 70s. At around that point. So team captains for both teams are coming onto the field, and we are about ready for the coin toss between McPherson and Chanute, and then we will bring you kickoff. So just as we go into this game, maybe just waiting a little bit longer on some excitement to brew. And, I guess we're just giving everybody a cliffhanger saying, hey, hold on for a few more minutes. We got to get ready for this really fun game.
Yeah, we're all ready. We're all prepared. We almost overly prepared at some remarks, but there's excitement in the air. You're back home. You're playing football. It's September. It's not great weather, but you know what I would call it right now?
Football
weather.
Exactly.
Starting to get cool in the air.
Exactly. I mean, right now it's 79, but it should cool off. I mean, let's talk about next week. We'll be at Winfield, and right now the high temperature for next week is 76. So about game time will be a little less than that, and it's going to start really feeling a lot cooler, and it'll hopefully start feeling like fall sometime soon. We'll certainly hope, but we know how Kansas is. It'll be 65 degrees one day and the next 95.
Yeah, and I'm just hoping that the rain stays. We get through this next week where it's supposed to rain.
Yeah.
At least on my weather apps. Almost every day of the week, and so hopefully the rain can hold off after that, and we can have hopefully a drier winter, but I doubt it.
On the toss, chose to defer to the second half. Chanute will receive.
So as you heard, McPherson won the toss and deferred, so Chanute will have the ball to start off this ball game. Now, you may have heard like a moan or a groan. There was some lightning in the distance, but again, if it's outside of 10 miles, it's fine. Especially that's towards the south. That's not going to come close to us. That's going away. That's not going to come close to us. And again, as you say, if you see lightning and it's in the distance, it's fine. When thunder roars, go indoors. But if there's lightning in the distance, you're fine.
Yeah, I'm going to try to stay away from it no matter what. I'm not going to Drew Brees myself here.
Well, good thing that us, the two of us, are indoors. We're not going to worry about the conditions. We'll be fine. Jeremy, on the other hand, I say he's outside, but he has some protective awning over him. He's our live stream coordinator. Big shout out to him. So we're just moments away from kickoff. So McPherson comes onto the field. They will kick off from right to left as we view it. McPherson in their red jerseys and red pants with a white helmet with the red numbering on the side of it, white lettering and numbering on the front and back, spelling Bullpups. Chanute, the Blue Comets, they have white and powder blue, white jerseys, white pants with powder blue lettering and numbering on the front and back with a black outline. Those uniforms are brought to you by McPherson Laundry and Dry Cleaners. It's their job to make you look your best. McPherson and Chanute getting ready to kick off here at McPherson Stadium. Jackson Hoover is the kicker. Back deep to return are Gage Cummings and Jonathan Woods. Hoover gets set, adjusts his shoulder pads, runs up to the ball, and it is away. The opening kickoff goes into the end zone for an opening touchback, and Chanute will start it at their own 20-yard line, first down and 10.
Yeah, like we've talked about for pretty much the last 55 minutes here, Chris Harding is where it starts, the quarterback. He's a dual-threat quarterback, and last year he was the first-team all-league quarterback for them. Last week, 7 of 10 throwing, 121 yards passing with 1 touchdown, but where he did his most damage was on the ground with 6 rush attempts, 77 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So that'll be the key focus here for the Bullpups defense, and that's why the players to watch were the linebacking cores.
He's receiving KCAC football offers. In fact, got one from Matt College about a month ago. He'll be in a pistol formation with Jalen Duncan as the tailback between the hashes. First and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Receiver in motion, fake handoff to him. It'll go to the tailback, who finds an opening on the right side of the line. Goes past the 30 to the 33 before being spun down from behind by Nolan Piercy. But it's first down for Chanute on a gain of 14 yards on the first play from scrimmage.
Yeah, just a simple misdirection. They brought a guy across the formation for almost a jet sweep, but he faked it there, and just a simple dive play. These are all simple concepts, but when you put them together, it becomes a complicated play, and that time they forced the Bullpups to change where their eyes were at and just snuck the ball right up the middle for 14 yards.
First down and 10 at their own 34 on the right hash this time in the shotgun. Tailback actually behind them. It'll be a play action, quick fire near side, caught at the 40, then hit low. Brought down at the 41-yard line. Catch made by Quesanadas. Brought down by Aaron Winter. It's a gain of 7 yards on first down.
Yeah, just a simple comeback. They ran a 6-yard comeback, picked up 7 on the play because he was able to come back through. Aaron Winter in coverage, but just a nice, easy pitch and catch. Try to get Harding in rhythm early.
We're a minute into this game. We were delayed for a bit because of lightning in the area, but we are a go now. Chanute has it to start off the game. Second down and 3 at their own 41 on the right hash. 2 lined up wide to the left, tight end receiver to the right in the shotgun. Chris Harding barks out the snap. It is high, but he collects it and now runs to the right side, lowers the head, goes to the 45. It's just enough for a first down. Needed 3, got 4. Move of the chains for the Blue Comets.
Yeah, that looks like a quarterback design run, a quarterback power right off the right tackle, and he was able to pick up enough, but the Bullpups were in an okay position and were only held them to 4 yards there. That'll be key as this game goes on. If they continue to run that quarterback zone or that quarterback power is being able to stop him, not after 10 yards, but after 3 or 4. Because
the sun is engulfed by the clouds, it's just lights that are illuminating the field here at McPherson Stadium. It's McPherson's home opener. First down and 10, own 45, trips to the right in the shotgun, 1 wide to the left on the right hash. Handoff on first down, goes to the left side, got hit immediately at the line, got pushed forward by a Bullpup defender, but it's a short gain on the run by Jalen Duncan, a gain of 3 on first down.
Just a simple handoff. I mean, try to get ahead of the sticks, but that time Matt Berger was in there, the will linebacker, and a couple other defenders from the defensive line. Hit him in the backfield, but Duncan was able to run with some power and fall forward for a 3-yard pickup.
9:50 to go first quarter. No score between McPherson and Chanute, as it is the opening drive of the game. Chanute started off with it thanks to a touchback by kicker Jackson Hoover, who's a sophomore. He had 2 touchbacks a week ago. In the shotgun, receiver in motion. Now 3 receivers wide right, 1 to the left on the right hash. Face mask, high snap. He'll look to throw deep across the middle. Too high, just out of the outstretched hands of Dakota Lynn at the 30-yard line. Incomplete, and it will be 3rd down and 7 coming up for Chanute.
Yeah, cover 3 on the back end, so there's just three guys kind of running down, so the seams are going to be wide open. That time, Dakota Lynn, excellent job of reading the throw, reading the eyes of the quarterback, and making a play on the football. Didn't quite get the pass break up as the pass was slightly overthrown, but expect to see a lot of balls down the seams here from the Blue Comets if the Bullpups continue to be in cover 3.
The Blue Comets defeated Coffeyville Field Kinley 55-0 last week. They only had 3 attempts on 3rd down, converting on 2 of them. Trips to the left, 1 receiver wide right, shotgun, 3rd down and 7. High snap, but they will hand it off on the right edge, and he'll get the first down and some more on the near side. Finally ripped down by the defensive back Dakota Lynn in McPherson territory at the 31-yard line. Move the chains, and how about the gutsy play call? Run it on 3rd and 7, and it works.
Yeah, pickup of 21 yards on the play. That's almost just a draw. You see that a lot in the NFL where it's 3rd down and long, 3rd down and 10 plus. That time it was 3rd down and 7, but just a simple draw play caught the Bullpups off guard trying to get into their zones and kind of had their eyes turned and picked up a big 21-yard gain.
3 minutes into the game, Chanute with the ball, 0-0 tie. Chanute in their first offensive possession of the game. McPherson has not had the ball yet offensively in the pistol again with the running back just 1 yard behind Harding. It'll be a play action, looking to the right, fires late. It's deflected off the back of a Bullpup. Nolan Piercy hits the turf at the 21, incomplete yard line off of the hard deflection. Incomplete makes it 2nd and 10.
Excellent job by the Bullpups there. They took away all 3 options because that was just another kind of what the Bullpups ran last week where they were trying to get the defensive backs to make a decision, but that's just another modified triple option play where there's 3 options that Harding can use. All 3 were kind of taken away from the Bullpups. Excellent job.
2nd down and 10. McPherson student section standing up. It's Cowboy night. A lot of cowboy hats that we see to our bottom right. In fact, one of them just swapped cowboy hats with another. A little Midwest hospitality. 2nd down and 10 in the pistol. Receiver in motion. They fake the jet sweep and hand it off to the tailback, Jalen Duncan. He gets through the first lane and goes into the secondary. It's a gain of 6 yards, but what a run by Jalen Duncan to make it what would have possibly been 3rd and 9 or 10 to now just 3rd and about 3.5.
He's had a really good drive, and if the Bullpups want to continue to have success here tonight, they're going to have to find a way to bottle him up right now because he's on 4 attempts. He's got 44 yards. So he's averaging 11 yards a rush. Now the 21-yard gain is bumping up those numbers, but still averaging 11 yards a rush right now.
He only had 52 yards all week last week in 5 attempts. Also had a touchdown A guy seen as a terrific athlete, but did not get much playing time behind star running backs like Quentin Harding. 3rd down and 4, 3-step drop. Harding throws near side. It's too wide and incomplete, intended for Kyson Seamster. Chris Harding, just a little bit too much on that throw. That makes it 4th down and about 3.5 coming up for Chanute.
With Harding, you want to get him to a second or third option there. The Bullpups, excellent job in coverage, cover a little bit of man-to-man, a little bit of cover one over the top with the safety, just playing a center field. Got him off of his first read, had to go to the second or third. Check down was just overthrown, had a little pressure on him as well.
Offense staying on the field. Chris Harding is in the pistol. Duncan is 2 yards behind him. 2 receivers wide to the right, 1 to the left. They're on the right hash. Under 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. Handoff. Duncan hit immediately. Spun down by Jaron Stutzman. And the Bullpups stymie the Blue Comets and make it a turnover on downs. It's a tackle for loss from the guy up front, Jaron Stutzman.
Yeah, and if you're going to bench, you might as well not break. Excellent job by Jaron Stutzman. He's been excellent for the Bullpups all year. Had a great game last week with a sack, but now the Bullpups are going to take over, and they're led by their quarterback, Carter Banks. And last week, 12 of 19, 149 with 1 touchdown. He also had a few rushing yards as well. They used him as a rusher last week a lot. I'd expect them to continue to do that, as he's a solid athlete at quarterback right now.
So McPherson has it on the left hash in the shotgun. 1st down and 10. Receiver in motion going from left to right. And now Bankton will take the snap. 3-step drop. Looks to the right. Just fires it. It is caught across the middle and brought down. It's a decent gain of about 3 or 4 yards, as getting the catch was Paxton Ingalls to make it 2nd down and about 3 yards.
Yeah, an excellent pitch and catch there. You talked earlier about that, and they put a guy in motion to see if it was either man or zone. That time they realized it was zone. Ingalls just sat down in the soft spot. Carter Bankston was able on the 3-step drop to hit him kind of in stride, or right as he turned around in that soft spot, and picked up a nice 7 yards.
First catch of the season by Paxton Ingalls, actually. 2nd down and 3 at the 33-yard line. Handoff out of the backfield for Dane Becker. Cuts to the left side, just gets enough for a 1st down. Stretches more, or forward to get a couple more, to the 40-yard line. It's a gain of about 7 yards. 1st and 10, move the chains for McPherson.
And that's really where this offense starts. It's in the backfield with the running backs, Dane Becker and Brody Millison. Obviously, we've talked about Brody Millison, but Dane Becker had over 125 yards as well last game, so he's going to be a big key for them as well.
In the pistol, Bankton barks out something to the O-line, and now look to the sideline. Yeah, Becker had 123 yards last week. He had 103 versus Great Bend, which was a career high. He snapped that last week. Bankton takes a snap, fires quickly, far side, caught by Ingalls at the 45. Tried to go down the sideline, but he just gets a gain of about 6 or 7 yards before being brought down by the secondary. But a good chunk of change on 1st down makes it 2nd and 3.
And that, I think, has been the for head coach Jace Pavlovich in this offense. The key for their next step is going to be finding a wide receiver on the outside, either Paxton Ingalls or Isaac Puhala, that can go opposite of Ashton Malm when any defense they go up against, especially Chanute, is taking away Ashton Malm, especially right here at the bottom of your screen.
6:25 to go, first quarter, no score. McPherson with it, 2nd down and 3 in the eye. They pitch it out on the near side. Becker with a stop-and-go move, cuts up field, but just a yard short of the sticks. He needs the 50, but he's down to the 49, makes it 3rd down and 1 for the Bullpups at their own 49.
Yeah, and one of the things that kind of goes underrated about Dane Becker and Brody Millison is their vision. They have excellent vision. He saw that the hole that he was supposed to hit on the toss there was not going to be there as the Blue Comets defense was going to cover it up. He just cut back upfield where there was a hole and picked up 2 yards.
Now, McPherson has struggled on 3rd down this year, 2 of 18 all season, but it's 3rd and 1. Handoff, Becker up the middle, got the 1st down across midfield. One-on-one matched up and still stretching forward for extra yardage. He was stymied at the 47. Somebody tried to poke the ball away from him. Instead, he kept the ball, spinned the opposite direction, and dove forward to get to the 44 in McPherson territory to move the chains.
Excellent. Again, 3rd down and short. Trust this offensive line. They've been really good this season.
5.5 minutes to go, first quarter. No score. McPherson on their first offensive drive of the game. They have it at the Chanute 44-yard line. 2-by-2 they line up. Receivers wise. Bankton, 3-step drop, looking to his left. Wants to go deep. Has Malm deep. Up the middle, and he's got it at the 5 and across the goal line. Touchdown, McPherson. 44-yard strike. Carter Bankson with his feet set, got it on the run to Ashton Malm, and it's a score for the Pups to start off the game. They lead 6-0, 5:08 to go, first quarter.
Chanute's main priority was to try to slow down or stop Ashton Malm. That time, Carter Bankston hit him in stride on a deep post and hit him for 44 yards in the touchdown. What an excellent ball, excellent catch, and great effort on the play by both sides.
Jackson Hoover in to kick the extra point. He's only missed one this year, but that was because it was blocked. That happened last week. Banks in the holder. Good snap, good hold. Kick is good. 7-0 McPherson. 5:08 to go, first quarter. We'll step aside. We're back in 30 seconds from McPherson. You're listening to McPherson High School football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
At Blue Stem Communities, they believe in living well at every stage of life. With trusted locations in McPherson, Heston, North Newton, and Hutchinson, they're proud to offer vibrant senior living options from independent living to assisted care and skilled nursing. Each community is grounded in compassion, connection, and a commitment to nonprofit mission. Come and see what living well can be at Blue Stem Communities. Live well with Blue Stem Communities in McPherson, Heston, North Newton, and Hutchinson.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
The Bullpups strike first over Chanute, a 44-yard touchdown pass. Carter Bankson to Ashton Malm makes it 7-0, 5:08 to go, first quarter. The drive for McPherson went 74 yards in just 2 minutes and 46 seconds, but the biggest play of them all put 7 on the board.
Yeah, 100%. And you know what? It was... First off, you got to give credit to the Bullpups offenses. That was an excellent play. It was a good drive. They stayed in front of the chains, and when they needed to take the shot, they took the shot, they hit on it. That's textbook first drive offense for you. But one of the things I really like, Lane, is they've now doubled the points total that Chanute has given up on the year.
Wow. So, for Bankson and Malm, that is the third passing touchdown and passing reception. Malm has caught all touchdown passes this season so far for McPherson and make that the third one. Jackson Hoover getting ready to boot it away with 5:08 to go. He steps up to the lime green tee, boots it high, end over end. It will be returned at the 1, and they will go up the middle to the near side. Now cutting back left, hits his own man, and they'll go down to the 20-yard line. So a pseudo touchback, but on the right side on that return by Kyson Seamster. First down and 10, Chanute. Last time they were on offense, which was their first drive of the game, they turned it over on downs deep in McPherson territory.
Yeah, they did. That was an excellent job by the Bullpups defense. This time they're going to have to adjust. They gave up 43 yards to running back Jalen Duncan. If they want to stop this Chanute offense, they're going to have to take him away or at least slow him down. But they did a really nice job on the quarterback, Harding, as Harding only completed one pass in that first drive.
So first down and 10, they're on the right hash, working at the 20-yard line. Trips to the left, one receiver wide to the right with Duncan in the backfield. And they will take the handoff, hand it off, and Duncan is stuffed in the backfield. Jaron Stutzman again. He was quoted a lot in social media this week as being a pseudo Micah Parsons, the now Green Bay Packer great, and he's certainly looking like it right now. The second TFL for him, 2nd and 13 coming up for Chanute.
Man, he is one athletic person. I mean, coming off that edge, he is going to be hard to stop. He had a few plays in the first drive that I thought, man, he's gonna get something tonight, but it'd been stymied a little bit. That time he kind of got home on that rush.
Loss of 3, 2nd and 13 on the right hash now for Chanute. Trips to the left with a tight end, 2 receivers, 1 wide to the right. Now a receiver in motion, left to right. They fake the jet sweep, hand it off out of the backfield. He's stuffed again, this time just to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard or 2, but it'll be 3rd and long coming up. Bo Barkley in there to bring him down. Chanute will have 3rd and 11.
This one of the parts of this Bullpups defense that isn't talked about enough is right now this defensive line. Jaron Stutzman, Dylan Hall. It starts with those two up front, and they're getting it done right now. Then the linebacking core is really rallying to football after first contact is made.
So I actually say about a yard and a half. So 3rd and 11 and a half, so a long 11, short 12 coming up for Chanute. They break the huddle with 8 on the play clock, 3:40 to go in the first quarter. McPherson up 7-0. In the shotgun, Harding with 1 second on the play clock, gets the snap up, rolls to his left, steps up. Now he's going to cork it near the sticks, and he's got it. It's a first down just by a couple of yards for Chanute on the far side. Catch was made by Jacob Thompson. He only had one catch for 10 yards last week. That one goes for 12 yards to move the chains for Chanute. 1st and 10 at their own 31.
Yeah, that time Chanute got Harding outside of the pocket, rolled him out to the left side of the pocket, and was able to fire to a comeback for Thompson on the outside, picked up 12 yards. It was a nice pitch and catch in rhythm.
On the left hash, they'll line up. 1st down and 10, their own 31-yard line, converting on what was 3rd down at about 12 yards. Pistol for Harding. Trips to the left with actually 2 tight ends to the left side and a receiver to the right. Receiver in motion, fake the jet sweep, hand it off again. Duncan up the middle, gets about 4, maybe 5 yards. Actually, they'll just give him Nope, they will give him 5. They'll mark him at the 36-yard line. A good job by Duncan using his legs to get past that front line and pushing for extra yardage. 2nd and 5 coming up.
Yeah, again, you pick up the first down. Now you go right back to Duncan. I mean, he worked on the first drive. He's working right now on the second drive outside of that first set of downs, but a big pickup of 5, and now you're second and 4 to 6. You can really kind of go to anything in your playbook here.
Absolutely. Well, they've really relied on the run so far, and I mean, heck, it's worked out in the pistol. Looks like the same formation as last time. This time they're in between the hashes. Play action, Harding keeps, looks to the left. He'll take it himself, lowers the shoulder across the 40, and gets to the 43 to move the chains. He needed 5, he got 7. 1st and 10 for Chanute.
Yeah, Chris Harding, 6'1", 202 pounds. He is going to be hard to bring down when he gets rumbling, and that time he got outside of the pocket. They went back to that modified triple option play to the outside. He decided to take it that time, picked up the first down, and it was a big first down there for him.
7-0 McPherson, 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Chanute with the ball. They have 1st down and 10 at their own 43-yard line on the left hash. Working out of the pistol, Chris Harding the second, getting KCAC offers, including one from the McPherson Bulldogs. 2 receivers wide left, 1 to the right. They'll hand it off to the right side. It's Jordan Cummings with it. He then gets wrapped up across the 45 down to the 46. Correction, Jordan Patterson with the handoff. He'll get a gain of about 3 yards on 1st down. 2nd and 7 at their own 46.
That time they went to try to attack the outside of this Bullpups defense. Dane Becker and the edge back and the edge defensive lineman there, and Bo Barkley, and they really didn't give up a whole lot of yards. That great, excellent tackle in open field by Bo Barkley and Dane Becker.
2nd down and 7 for Chanute. 1:10 to go in the first quarter. They're on the right hash. Play clock down to 12 as they break the huddle. In the pistol they work. Harding, the senior quarterback, wipes off his right hand on the right side of his pants. Shotgun they work, 2 wide to the right. Play action, looking to throw across the middle. A little too high, deflected and picked off. No, he dropped it. He dropped it. Carter Busker had it in his mitts and dropped it. He does not have gloves on, but maybe he should have. That is what, the 5th or 6th dropped pick of the season already for McPherson.
I was going to say that. They dropped at least 3 at Great Bend. I think they dropped 1, so I think that's 5 now. But what an excellent play in coverage there. They had 3 Bullpups around the intended wide receiver and were able to knock the football out. Busker had it in his hands and just, for lack of a better word, dropped it.
Well, you got to shake it off and move on to the next play. It's 3rd down and 7 for Chanute on the right hash. Clock stops, 53 seconds to go in the first quarter. McPherson up 7-0. Play clock down to 3. High snap, but he gets it off. Pressure comes, and as he throws, it's knocked away and incomplete. A bit too wide, ahead of the intended man, I should say, and then knocked loose onto the ground by Nolan Piercy. 4th down and 7 coming up for Chanute. They're not going to risk it this time. Here comes the punting unit, or are they? It looks like 5 people started subbing in and then went back to the sideline.
Are they going to do the modified punt here? Or are they actually going to go for this?
Maybe a little deke play, but now Coach Pavlovich is going to have to call a timeout because it looked like the defense was confused. They did have 11 on the field, but I wonder if they did not have the right personnel on the field in case this was a defensive play. And I think there was just some confusion on the alignment. But now, because of the timeout, we're going to have to see what Chanute goes with here. 50 seconds to go in the first quarter. Of course, clock stops. It was an incompletion and a timeout to make it 4th down and 7. They turned it over on downs the last time that they had 4th down. We'll see what they go with here.
Yeah, Lane, your guess is as good as mine here. 4th down and 7. trust me, I don't know if I'd go for this here at midfield, especially after the Bullpups' last drive. But I like the timeout by head coach Jace Pavlovich there. That the previous play, even before this timeout, there was some confusion as well as the linebacking core was trying to communicate and get into position. It didn't end up hurting the Bullpups at all, but now they've tried to put it into punt formation. But the Comet offense is coming back out here after this timeout.
They sure are. Chris Harding now steps behind the line and is in the shotgun, barks out to his O-line, a man in motion from left to right. 3 receivers wide to the right, 1 wide to the left. Now Harding backs up. A running back then moves up, so I think this is a pseudo punt, and it's just away. Nobody back deep for McPherson. They're going to let it bounce side to side at the 19 or 18-yard line is where it goes out of bounds. So it does kind of work into that pseudo punt that you did mention, Nathan, but McPherson punts it away, or Chanute punts it away back to McPherson.
Yeah, the Bullpups get to start this second drive at the 19-yard line. That punt did not take a great bounce. It took a pretty neutral bounce, but if you're the Blue Comets, you wanted that to keep rolling and try to get down inside the 5 and really pin the Bullpups back, but it got out at about the 19 and put the Bullpups in an okay field position, ready to go. Now you're going to see in the backfield Brody Millison to the right of Carter Bankston, and I'd expect to see him touch this football here on either the first or second play of this drive.
First down and 10 at their own 19, 42 seconds to go in the first quarter. On the right hash, they will hand it off on a jet near side. Millison gets off of one man. Harding then comes in late across the 20 to the 21-yard line, a gain of about 2 yards on first down that time. Chris Harding, pretty much the last line of defense. The safety came in to bring Brody down.
Yeah, this defense is fast. I mean, they are moving to the football really well. The defensive linemen, the linebackers, and even the safety. I mean, Chris Harding is on this side. Now he's switching over to the far side of the field here with trips to the far side. But they are a fast defense. They're getting to the ball quick.
They will play action, fire it across the middle, caught by Puhala. Thought it was deflected at the line for a second, but Puhala makes the catch at the 26-yard line. The clock will expire in the first quarter. McPherson will have third down and 3 when we return. Through one quarter of play, it's McPherson 7, Chanute 0. We're back after this. You're listening to McPherson High School football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
Do you have the right financial advisor to help you reach your goals? Ameriprise Advisors can provide personalized, goal-based advice to help you feel more confident about your financial future. Call Prairie Hills Financial Group of Ameriprise Financial Services at 620-504-5062. Office is located at 223 South Main Street, McPherson, Kansas. Ameriprise Financial cannot guarantee future financial results. Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
One quarter in the books. McPherson with a 7-0 lead. They have the ball as they face Chanute in their home opener. We were delayed a little bit for lightning, but now we're back underway as the second quarter is coming up. Chanute had 2 offensive drives. The first one ended in a turnover on downs. The second one in a punt. This time it's McPherson's second possession. Their first possession resulted in a 44-yard touchdown throw on a 74-yard drive, and now McPherson has 3rd and 3 at their own 26-yard line.
Yeah, and one of the things, Lane, I'm watching, especially here and then the rest of the day, is that battle in the trenches. I know we talked last week a lot about the offensive line. This Chanute defensive line and offensive line for Chanute as well on the other side is really, really, really good. That's going to be an excellent battle to watch the rest of the game.
Bankston's in the pistol. Puhala goes from right to left in the motion. Now 3 receivers wide to the left and 1 to the right. With a man in the backfield, believe that's Becker. It will be an option. Pitch out to Becker, looking for the left edge across the 30 to the 31. That's enough for a first down by about a yard or 2. Correction, Brody Millison with the carry. Just got enough. Move the chains for McPherson. 1st and 10 at their own 31. They just got 5 yards and needed 3.
I like right now what head coach Jace Pavlovich and offensive coordinator John Montgomery are doing with this offense. They're making Chanute pick. They are making Chanute have choices on who to pick and using the options well.
Well, they have to now. There's 2 backs in the backfield, except one of them is Nolan Piercy, who's a tight end. The other being Brody Millison on the left hip pocket of Bankton in the shotgun. 1 receiver far side, 2 near. It'll be a handoff. Millison up the gut, now cutting left to the 35, lowers the head at the 40, mows over a Blue Comet and gets 11 or 12 yards. They'll give him 12 to move the chains. 1st and 10. Brody Millison, the sophomore, picking up where he left off.
Man, he is really coming out here. That last game over 200 yards rushing. Now, but again, he does two things really well. He has the start-stop ability. He's got the agility for that, but also he's a strong runner. He can run you over, and that time he showed his power off.
Just under a minute into the second quarter, McPherson up 7-0 over Chanute. Pistol set, Piercy in motion left to right, handoff at the backfield. It's Millicent cutting back to the left. Flag comes in the backfield. Millicent far side at the 45 in Chanute territory down to the 44, but likely this play will not count as a marker came in the backfield and will likely be a hold on the Bullpups. Surprisingly, I say surprisingly, this is the first penalty of this game between either team. You like that if you're either team. It shows, pretty good discipline, but that one moves McPherson back in what would have been a long rush for Millicent.
Yeah, and you kind of saw it right away there with the with the right tackle, but now you have to move on. It's first down and 20. We talked about it last week when there was a couple of holding penalties as well that backed you up, but just staying in motion, that doesn't look like.
It's first and 17.
First and 17. Oh, nice. 3 yards less.
Yeah, it was 10 yards from the spot, not 10 yards from the previous line of scrimmage. But McPherson now in the shotgun. Millicent on the sideline getting a quick breather. Now it's Dane Becker who's in as a tailback. 2 by 2 they line up receivers-wise. Bankson will take the snap, play action, looking to his right. He's going to uncork it. He's got Winter in stride, but he overthrew him by a yard. Incomplete at the 30-yard line. Confusion by the Chanute defense. Had Winter wide open, but as the ball bounced at the 30, Winter was at the 32. Just a little too much mustard from Carter Bankson. Makes it incomplete. 2nd and 17.
Yeah, that's a staple play that they've taken and adapted to what normally happens. That's that like speed, what's that called again? Oh my, I'm blanking on it.
I can't help you.
Screen. It's a screen play. It's just a simple wide receiver screen play that they just snuck the slot receiver out on a kind of a post or really just a fly.
They're going to look to throw again. It is a screen up the middle this time, though, with Becker cutting to the right, hit by his ankles, lowers the head, then spins the other direction. A decent gain, but it'll make it 3rd down and 11, so it's a gain of 6 yards on the screen pass up the middle to the tailback, Dane Becker.
Yeah, and I'll be honest here, Lane. Dane Becker actually used the umpire in the middle of the field as as kind of a blocker there, and blocked out the linebacker Asher Love for Chanute, and that helped him pick up 6 yards.
3rd down and 11 for McPherson. 9:55 and ticking to go first half. McPherson up 7-0. They have it at their own 32, or 42 rather. They need it to get to the Chanute 47. Bankson will line up in the pistol, 2 wide to the left, tight end receiver wide to the right, play clock down to 3. It is a play action, rolling to the far side. Bankson fires, caught near the sticks, and it's a first down. Ashton Malm up the middle, and he is gone. 15, 10, 5. Flashton Malm shows the afterburners. Touchdown, McPherson. 58 yards this time, just a 12-yard route up the middle, but Ashton Malm took the rest, and the Bullpups lead 13-0.
What an excellent throw by Carter Banks. He was rolling out of the pocket to the left, had to flip the hips, looked like a shortstop coming across the infield on a slow roller to get the football out to Ashton Malm on a crosser running the other direction, and Malm was able to turn on the speed, hit it into another gear, and just take off for 58 yards, and the Chanute secondary had no chance.
Jackson Hoover looking to make it 14-0. 9:27 to go second quarter. Good snap, good hold, and the kick is good. 14-0 Bullpups here in the first half. We're back in 30 seconds for the ensuing kickoff. You're listening to McPherson High School football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
At Health Equip, we are committed to bringing comfort to you and your home. That's why we specialize in health and mobility products designed to keep you feeling your best and living with ease. From CPAPs and BiPAPs to oxygen services and respiratory supplies, our full line of equipment is backed by friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to help find the right fit. Right now, enjoy 20% off our power mobility products and lift chairs. Find us at healthequip.com or visit us in Hutchinson, Newton, and McPherson. Health Equip, comfort, care, and a better way to live.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
What a job by McPherson. 9:27 to go in the first half, and the Bullpups lead 14-0 over Chanute. And most recently coming off a 58-yard touchdown pass, Carter Bankton to Ashton Malm. 2 passing touchdowns, 2 receiving touchdowns from Carter Bankton to Ashton Malm.
Ashton Malm, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns, 102 yards. That's
Wow.
a lot of 2s.
Yeah.
But he caught that. That was like an 11-yard pass, 11 yards of airtime, and then he just did the rest. 47 yards after catch, which is, if you know anything about football, that's excellent. That's good stuff right there.
Absolutely. Jackson Hoover in to kick. He runs up to the ball and boots it away, end over end, sky high against the wind. It is bobbled at the 3-yard line, but they get it on the run at the 6, going up the middle, gets through one man, but then tripped up on the right side at the 24-yard line. That's where Chanute will take over with first down and 10, 9:22 to go in the first half.
Yeah, if you're Chanute, you're going to have to open up this offense here a little bit. I mean, they've trusted the run. They've tried to run the football a ton, but where they've seen success is getting the football out quick to their wide receivers and Jacob Thompson and Otis here. They need to continue to do that and just nickel and dime their way down. Right now they're getting behind the chains or they're putting themselves too far behind the sticks, and it's third down and long every time.
Coverage of Bullpup football brought to you by McPherson College. You bring the dream, we'll build the team. Success is a team effort. Begin building yours at McPherson College. First down, they will hand it off out of the backfield to the right side. It's Patterson. Got past the first level, then a linebacker brings him down for a gain of about 5 yards on first down.
Yeah, that time. Now you're second and medium. It's a nice play on first down. Now you go play action pass here. Even though you run out of the shotgun, you go play action pass, get the football out in space, and just try to get your playmakers one-on-one on the outside.
8:55 to go first half. They call it a gain of 6. Second down and 4 yards at the 30-yard line for Chanute on the right hash. 2 receivers lined wide to the near side. Tight end receiver to the right. Pistol set is what it looks like. Tailback 1 yard back. It is a play action. Harding rolls to his left. Wants to roll deep, but now he'll just tuck it and run. He gets the first down at the 35, and then out of bounds he goes at the 41-yard line. Good chunk of chains for a gain of 11 yards. First and 10 coming up for Chanute.
Yeah, excellent job by Harding. I mean, he saw that the Bullpups were going to bring pressure off the right side with their with the Will linebacker Matt Berger, and that left a wide open hole there that Harding could take advantage of. Picks up 12 yards on the play, or 11 yards on the play, excuse me, and good enough for a first down. That's what you really want. Even though they were going to throw it, Harding took off with it.
Chanute trying to get on the board. This is their third offensive possession. The first one ended in a turnover on downs. The second one in a punt. This is a team that averages 38.5 points a game. They have a goose egg on the scoreboard. Handoff out of the shotgun. Hit immediately. Brought down. A tackle for loss by Bo Barkley as Jalen Duncan loses a yard on first down to make it 2nd and 11.
You know, coming into this game, the scouting report honestly probably should not have been to try to run the football on this Bullpups defense. They're only giving up like 61.5 yards per game, and so it's really tough to run the football against this Bullpups front.
They only gave up 22 against Circle last week. 8 minutes to go in the first half. 14-0 McPherson. Late sub comes in for Chanute. They break the huddle with 8 on the play clock. 2nd and 11 they'll have on the left hash. A receiver moved quickly from right to left. Whistles blow. And what do we have?
I believe an equipment violation.
I think so, just with 2 on the play clock. And that was with the guy that came in late, Bo Small, who then quickly went from the right to the left as the white hat official makes the official announcement. Equipment violation, which is a point of emphasis in high school football. Bo Small has to come out for a play. It was very close for it possibly being a delay of game, but with just 1 on the play clock, the near side official blew the whistle, and now Chanute will try again for 2nd down and 11. 2 receivers lined wide to the left. Tight end receiver wide right. In fact, they're on the left hash, but the furthest receivers all the way at the numbers. Tailback in the backfield, 2 yards behind Chris Harding. They'll give it to him. Duncan looking for the right edge, and he's got it at the 45. Looking for an opening at the 40. 35, 30. Winter to beat at the 15, 10, 5, and goodbye. Touchdown, Chanute. 60-yard run to Jalen Duncan, and the Blue Comets are finally on the board. 14-6 Bullpups with 7:18 to go first half.
Yeah, just attacking that right side of the offensive line or the right side of the defense and the defensive end, making him make a decision, and Jalen Duncan did the rest. Picks up 60 yards on the play, kind of put on the afterburners and just ran away from Aaron Winter there. And an excellent job, an excellent answer drive cut the lead in half.
Well, it is if they hit this kick. The snap comes in, but there was movement up front, and a flag comes in, and this might be on McPherson, actually. And that will be, and what that's going to do is bring the offense back on the field potentially to have them go for 2.
Offside,
Yep.
number 55 of the defense. Half the distance to the goal.
Sam Wheeler was in to kick, but now the offense is back in as that penalty moves them from the 2 to the 1, and Chanute with a chance to make it a 6-point game by going for 2.
Yeah, Lane, even now, I'm not sure that I would want to try. I mean, I get it. You're at the 1-yard line going for 2, but I don't know if you really need to go for 2 here.
Well, they have 3 backs. They'll hand it off, and then wrapped up at the legs, trying to stretch forward is Duncan. He won't get there. And, yeah, you mentioned it, Nathan. They do not convert on a 2-point conversion at the 1-yard line. Good job by the Bullpup front line, and that keeps the score 14-6.
Yeah, I understand why they made that play, but with 7 minutes left in the second quarter, you're down by 8, 14-6. You take the points.
Mm-hmm.
Just stay within a touchdown. I mean, it is still within a touchdown, but now it forces you to have to go get that 2-point conversion later on. Just take the point, take the field goal, and move on with your life.
Absolutely. Move on with your life. That's interesting. Well, we'll keep it here. The ensuing kickoff is in just a couple of moments, but first off, we'd like to thank our friends at Next Tech Wireless. You can stream every game live with the Ad Astra Radio app powered by Next Tech Wireless, where you can find the latest phones and devices at the best prices. We'd also like to thank some of our sponsors for helping us out all year long. Ag 360 Insurance with Darren Eddy and Cody Moores, RC Heating and Cooling, Great Plains Federal Credit Union, Edward Jones McPherson, Art Shirt Gear for Sport, McPherson Booster Club, Farmers Alliance, Next Tech Wireless, McPherson College, Idea Tech, Prairie Hills Financial with Glenn Snell, and Pleasant View Home. 7:18 to go in the second quarter. McPherson leads Chanute 14-6. Chanute just drove down the field a 76-yard drive in just a little over 2 minutes, capped off by a 60-yard touchdown run by Jalen Duncan. PAT did not go, but now McPherson, they've had 2 offensive drives, and both of them have resulted in touchdowns. Chanute will kick it away for the first time today. Sam Wheeler will be the one to do so. High will be returned by Winter at the 17 at the near side, cutting now to the far, somehow stayed on his feet at the 25. It only goes a couple more yards to the 27, and that's where McPherson's going to take over. Actually, they'll give him the 29-yard line. That's where the Bullpups will take over.
And Lane, here's my final piece on the whole thing. Now that you've missed the extra point and you didn't get that 2-point conversion, you had a lot of the momentum back on your side after the 60-yard touchdown run. You've answered. You've really kind of responded to the punch in the mouth. But now the Bullpups have all the momentum back after they've just stood you up on the 1-yard line.
155 yards of offense so far in just 2 drives. Their third one will start off first down and 10 between the hashes. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far, with a tight end as well in the pistol. Becker in the backfield. Handoff. Becker wanted to go up the middle, then cut back and up the middle. He goes again across the 35, stretching forward to the 39. How did he get past all the white jerseys? Just able to stretch forward for a gain of 11 yards and move the chains. Dane Becker, the shiftiness of the junior, moves the chains.
That's a good word, shifty, because that run was shifty. He had 2 men in the backfield that had him. He got out of that tackle and then was able to just kind of dodge and weave his way up the field for 11 yards. An excellent run, excellent vision, great agility.
2 receivers wide right, 1 wide left with a tight end. That's Barkley in the pistol, Becker in the backfield. 6:45 to go in the first half. McPherson up 14-6. Just giving up the touchdown by Chanute, looking to bounce back. Handoff, Becker left edge, good chunk of change, 45, hit low and brought down at the McPherson 49. Gain of 9 yards on first down from Becker, so how about 20 yards in the last 2 carries for Dane, and that makes it second and short for the Pups.
Yeah, and right now the Pups are just attacking the edges right now, and Brady Alonso is 6'5", 270, and Dane Becker's kind of just running around him as Alonso just wasn't able to set a good edge, and he picked up 9 yards because there was no linebacker there to clean him up.
4 receivers wide to the right and Malm deep to the left. Empty back shotgun for Carter Bankton. Second down and 1 on the left hash. Low snap. Bankton looking to throw just quickly near side. It's Becker who catches it at midfield. Hit immediately, but it's a first down as he's down to the Chanute 48-yard line. It's a 3-yard gain, but all they needed was 1 to move the sticks.
Yeah, I really like that play. You have a couple of options there, but Dane Becker is really kind of the main focus of that play. You get a man in front to block for him, and he picks up 3 yards in the first down. Just a nice, simple pitch and catch, and it gets Carter Bankston remaining in rhythm.
Clock stops after going out of bounds. 5:37 to go first half. McPherson up 14-6 in the pistol for Carter Bankton. Now Brody Millison's in the backfield. 2 receivers and a tight end wide left. Receiver wide to the right, so it's trips left. Handoff, Millison up the middle he goes, lowers the head, and he loses the football. It's picked up on the near side. The whistle does not blow, and it is Chanute taking over and out of bounds at the McPherson 41. Just ripping it out from his mitts, Braddock's Bancroft out of the hands of the sophomore Brody Millison. Nathan, you thought he was down, and now the officials are going to come together. Was he down or was the ball out? We'll see, but right now the McPherson defense is on the field after giving up that fumble.
Yeah, either way, I think they're going to get together here and talk about this just a little bit more. I always will respect them letting them play through the whistle, like letting them play, not blowing the whistle, then getting back together and talking about this later on. And right now they're doing it, which I believe is excellent officiating.
Good teamwork. And, I mean, that's something we've seen from officials. It's been terrific teamwork. White hat official
and you know
coming out. And
after further discussion, the runner's knee was down.
Okay. Down by contact, McPherson keeps the ball.
That right now is big because you had the Blue Comets defense coming out, or offense coming out, but now they've got to go all the way back. Bullpups offense is currently in their own territory. They need
to move way forward. The beanbag is down at the Chanute 43, and that's where one of the officials is at. So that's where they're going to put them, is the McPherson 43.
And like we talked about, that's either way here, no matter what they called, I was going to say that was going to be excellent officiating. Letting the game play through. It's a pickup of about 5 on the play, about 4 on the play for Brody Millison, but an excellent job by the officials to get together, talk about this, communicate. And you know what they say, teamwork does make the dream work.
Indeed. I snickered because the chain gang already moved a little bit, and then now they had to move back, and now a whistle blows, and what? White hat official comes in, looks to the left side of the O-line, and I think they're trying to come together with the chain guys on the far side and figure out what was the play, how far did they go. Like, where was the line of scrimmage? Where did he go down? Well, I mean, they have down where he went down, but where was the line of scrimmage on that play? Because the guys on the far side with the big orange sticks that say original line of scrimmage and where the first down is, they already moved, so they have to move back and then kind of go off of, hey, where the heck were they? So they're coming together to figure that out right now.
You know what I say? Give them the first down. Just reset the entire thing. But I will say the scoreboard does right now have 2 second down and 5 yards to go from the 43. That's if the scoreboard operator used the recall button that's on the remote. If they didn't, then I can't trust it. But if they did, it would be second down and 5.
Oh, it's actually, I think, second down and about 7 yards. I think they just set a gain of about 2 or 3. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to press the recall button, and I can't. So second down and 8 is actually what they say, and they are at the Chanute 43. It'll be an option. Pitch out, Millison near side, lowers the head at the 40. Flag flies in from all the way back near the secondary and goes to the line of scrimmage. They mark him at the 37, but let's check the marker. If the play stands, it'd be about 3rd and 1.5, but we'll see what this penalty is.
There was some hand fighting kind of down the field a little bit. It looks like it's going to be holding, though, from the spot of the foul. So back up the Bullpups again, second down and quite long is what I'll say.
They'll put the ball down at the McPherson 49. That makes it 2nd and 15. So,
however, I will say the last time the Bullpups were in second down and long or first down and long, they scored a touchdown.
Well, you just jinxed it. 5:15 to go in the first half. Clock now runs. McPherson up 14-6 over Chanute here in their home opener. McPherson working from left to right. Second down and 15 after the penalty in the pistol. Handoff up the middle for Millison. Cuts to the left now. Back to the original line of scrimmage. They get the penalty yards back and then some. Finally stymied at the Chanute 38-yard line. And that's a gain of about 13 yards to make it second down and 2. Well, we'll see, because one official says one thing, another says another. That will put him at the 38. So third and about 2.5 coming up for McPherson.
Yeah, this is right where you want to be. Second down at 15, pick up 13 yards. Second down at about 2 or 3.
In the pistol, now it's Dane Becker, the tailback, behind Carter Bankton by a couple of yards. Malm is the receiver on the near side. 2 receivers far with a tight end. That's Piercy on the right hash, but they'll hand it off. Becker looking for the left edge. Hit immediately, and he won't get to the sticks. He maybe got a yard. One official moved him back, which I didn't believe so, but that's what they... Yep, they say you lost a yard, I guess, so make it 4th down and about 4 for McPherson.
I still think this is 4-down territory. You trust your defense early. You know they're going to make a response. 4 minutes left in this half, only 4 yards to get. You go for it here, and you try to pick up this 1st down.
Now, last week, Jackson Hoover tried a 49-yard field goal. From here, it'd be about 56, but yeah, they're not going to do that right here. 4th down and about 4.5 yards. And the offense on the field with the play clock down to 6, down to 5. Game clock at 3:40 to go in the second quarter, down to 2. And they get the snap off. Play action rolling to the left. They've got a man deep. Bankton sets his feet, fires, and it's caught by Malm. 10-5. A hat trick in the first half. Touchdown McPherson. CB to Flashton Malm, and the Bullpups add 6 more. 20-6 McPherson, 3:27 to go in the first half.
Lane, I don't even know if Ashton Malm was open. I just think Carter Bankston trusts Ashton Malm so much. That's his number one target. He wants to get him the football, and he trusts him so much that he just said, I'm going to throw this one up, and it's that old Tyreek Hill meme. Ashton Malm's down there somewhere. He's going to catch it. He goes up over the defender and brings that football home. 39 yards for the touchdown.
Jackson Hoover in to try to make it 21-6. Good snap, good hold. Man came in up front, but he got the kick away, and it is good. 21-6 McPherson, 3:27 to go in the first half. We're back in 30 seconds from McPherson. You're listening to coverage of Bullpup football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
At Pleasant View Home, you are in control. Our memory care unit offers completely resident-directed care in a safe, secure, home-like environment. With 24/7 staffing, private rooms and baths, and a secure outdoor courtyard, every detail is designed for comfort and dignity. A dedicated activity director ensures every day is full of life, engagement, and purpose. Our staff are specially trained in Alzheimer's and dementia care because every person matters at Pleasant View Home.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
McPherson up 21-6 with 3:27 to go in the first half. Ashton Malm with 3 receiving touchdowns, all from Carter Bankton. We're starting to see what kind of looks like Randy Moss out there when he was with the Vikings.
Yeah, 3 catches, 3 touchdowns, 141 in the air. And Lane, you said it. He had Carter Bankton had Aaron Winter wide open down the field, about 15 yards farther. But he just threw it up to Ashton Malm, and Malm made a play and took it to the house for 6.
Hey, it works. So now Jackson Hoover will try to kick it away. Chanute will try to get on the board before going to the locker room. McPherson will get the ball to start the second half. What a start for the Bullpups, but you got to carry through for the full 48 minutes. The ensuing kickoff is high end over end, and they will let it bounce at the 1 and into the end zone. It's an automatic touchback. It'll be first down at their own 20 for Chanute.
Yeah, if you're Chanute, you just had a big 60-yard run, and you got to trust it. You 3 minutes and 27 seconds. Ball stops on every first down. So you've got time, plus you've got all 3 timeouts. Just continue to do what your offense is supposed to do. Nickel and dime this is Bullpups defense and try to work this football down the field. As old Hank Stram used to say, matriculate it down the field and try to put up another 6, 7, or 8 points on the board.
Didn't think I'd hear a Hank Stram reference in this game. 156 total yards of offense for Chanute. This is their 4th drive of the game, starting at their own 20. 3:27 to go first half, 21-6 McPherson in the pistol. Fake handoff. Actually, a miscommunication, and Harding's down in the backfield. Bo Barkley brought him down. Harding went to his right, waiting on the handoff, but the tailback went to the left, and it's a loss of 2 to make it second down and 12.
Yeah, just a simple miscommunication, and what's even worse is it looked like the offensive line didn't know what to do either because the Bullpups were on it right away and just were able to keep Harding in the pocket and drop him for a loss of 2.
Chanute, by the way, does have all 3 timeouts should they decide to use them. In the shotgun now, 2-by-2, they line up with their receivers. Tail back to the left hip pocket of the 6'1 senior Chris Harding. He now moves as a tight end. And now they'll take the chest-high snap, looking deep to the near side, one-on-one. Becker trying to catch up to it. It's overthrown and incomplete. A push by the Chanute wide receiver. They say no offensive pass interference because that was over everybody's head. Intended for Kyson Seamster. It was overthrown by him by about 5 yards, and Dane Becker, the defensive back, by about 3. 3rd down and 13 after the incompletion.
Hey, great communications here by Dane Becker and Dakota Lynn. Even pre-snap, they knew that they were going to almost run 2 vertical routes, one down the seam where Dakota Lynn needed to be and one where Dane Becker needed to be on the outside, and both of them were able to cover up their man, and that time Kyson Seamster had to turn into really a defensive back and try to break up that pass.
Play clock down to 2. They just now break the huddle and get the snap off. Rolling to the right. Harding fires on the run. Way too hard. Incomplete. 4th down and 13 coming up, or 4th and 12 with 2:32 to go after the incompletion, and Chanute's going to have to punt it away.
Lane, this offense for Chanute just kind of seems out of whack. They're not hitting on some of their quick passing game like they normally do. They've broken off a few good runs, but for the most part, they're going more backwards than they were forward there for a while outside of the scoring drive.
So now McPherson with a chance if they field this cleanly with 2:32 to go in the first half and 2 timeouts. Up 21-6. Here comes the pressure. They just get the punt off. It is high into the air. Everybody says get out of the way. It bounces at the Chanute 46 and then finally picked up right there. McPherson in terrific field position with 2:23 to go in the half. Again, up 21-6, possibly trying to extend this lead before going to the locker room.
Yeah, get greedy here. Go up by 3 scores into the locker room. It's just going to make it that much harder. Your defense right now has stymied this Chanute defense or offense right now, and your offense is, for lack of a better way of saying it, putting it on this Chanute defense.
3 offensive drives, 3 touchdowns. And there's a point I want to get to after this play, but first we're going to wait for first down in the shotgun. Bengtson on the left hash, 2-by-2. They line up with the receivers and a tailback to his left hip pocket. 3 passing touchdowns from Carter Bengtson to Ashton Mall. Millicent's the tailback. Lined up on the left side, play clock down to 10. It'll be a play action, fire far side. It's Malm at the 40, cuts left at around the sticks. The 35 still on his feet, then finally pushed out of bounds to the 34-yard line, which will stop the clock and move the chains for McPherson, a gain of 12 yards. The point I wanted to ask, last week what McPherson did was they ran it a bunch and they got Chanute's or Circle's front line tired. Do you think that's the game plan here?
I don't know if it is, because I think you're matching strength with strength. What I think is going to be the main focus is try to get it outside and go against what the Bullpups may believe is the weak link in the outside cornerbacks.
Okay, well, in the shotgun, 2-by-2, waist-high snap, 3-step drop. Bengtson looks, now steps up into the pocket. He's going to tuck it and run at the 30 and dives forward. A defender was breathing down his neck. He didn't want to risk any injury. He dove forward for a couple extra yards to make it an 8-yard gain, and it'll be 2nd down and 2 coming up. But McPherson will have to bring in an extra right tackle. McCoy Bergeron lost his helmet. Because of that, he has to come off for a play. Coming in to replace him is Brody Kramer, the freshman, but he stands 6'2", 205. That's unfair that a 14, 15-year-old kid is 2 inches taller than I am.
Lane, that was excellent quarterbacking right there by Carter Bengtson. The pocket was collapsing. He stepped up into the pocket, realized he had nobody, took off, picked up 8 yards, kept him in rhythm.
2nd down option play, pitch out Millicent, but he's met up in the backfield and down all the way back. One says the 34, the other says the 32 because they're trying to figure out forward progress, and timeout call by McPherson, their 2nd of the half. They'll face a 3rd down and about, well, right now where they have it is 9. Yeah, so they say 3rd down and 9, so a loss of 7 on that play on the pitch out to Millicent on the option, and 1:26 to go in the first half. McPherson 21, Chanute 6 with 1:26 to go in the first half, and McPherson with a terrific job so far offensively, but now facing 3rd and long. What do they do here?
Yeah, you know what? When in doubt, find Ashton Malm. Find Ashton Malm or trust your running back. I think Malm picked up the first catch that Malm had that didn't go for a touchdown was for 12 yards. And they went zone coverage, off zone coverage, and gave him a ton of space to work. And I really think that was a mistake by Chanute. They need to be going tight man-to-man coverage. They have done it all game until really this drive, but now you're back in with the new right tackle, and you can kind of do what really you want because you know it's 4-down territory with 1.5 minutes to go.
Offense back on the field, 3rd down and 9 at the Chanute 33. They need a 24. Now a whistle blows, and we'll have a equipment malfunction, and that's Ashton Malm coming out because I think it's because his mouthpiece was not in. So forget what you said about finding Ashton Malm. They're bringing in Aaron Winter for him.
Yeah, find Dane Becker now.
Well, yeah, he's the tailback in this game. Bankson goes right up to Winter, giving out what the play is, and a whistle blows because Bankson, then they just got the snap. The play clock was running, and they meant to reset the play clock and did not. The whistle was the official saying that he was going to wind his hand to start the clock again, or actually the play clock, because the game clock can't run because this is after a timeout. But now the play clock will run, reset at 25. Shotgun, 2x2, they line up, low snap, Bankson collects it, steps up into the pocket, he's going to tuck it and run, stutter step move, and a flag comes in as Bankson goes down to the 29. But we'll see what the penalty is with 1:18 to go in the half. It's thrown near the backfield, and if this is offensive holding, I would guarantee Chanute accepts this, and I think it is on the offense. I guarantee Chanute accepts this because if it's 4th down, it's 4th down territory, and this is long enough for Jackson Hoover to kick. But we'll see what goes on here.
I do think this is going to be an interesting decision.
Holding against the offense, number 55, 10 yards from the previous spot.
Yep, they will accept the penalty, and they say 10 yards from the previous spot. But yep, accept the penalty, and I mean, we said it. For Chanute, I think that's the right move.
I do too as well. I mean, Jackson Hoover has got one of the better legs in 4A Kansas football right now, and really in all of the entire state. But now it's 3rd down and 19. Not a ton of plays in the playbook for 3rd down and 19.
Right. See if they could just maybe give it to a playmaker and see what he can do. Clock will run because it was a run play where the man went down in bounds. It'll be just a jet pass for Ashton Malm. He's got it near side 40, right side 35. Flag is down, and at the 30 or the 29 he goes down, but another flag comes in.
Yeah, I think this one's going to go on Dane Becker. It was in the area of Dane Becker, and Becker kind of looked at Malm, was like, you were supposed to go to my left, and you went to my right. That's not ideal, I believe is what the quote would have been.
We'll see, but McPherson's offense is moving back. Now, if this is 10 yards from the spot, that's a better line of scrimmage than this play because the flag's at the 32. But if you decline it, it's 4th down and short at about the 29.
Holding against the offense, number 7, 10 yards from the spot of the 5. Replay 3rd down.
So it does move McPherson up a little closer, just a couple of yards closer actually, but a couple of costly holding penalties have moved them back. But, some good news with this. These are causing extra plays, which runs the clock a little bit more. You don't want to give Chanute a chance to score before the break, and the clock is going to run because this was a play that was down in bounds. They're in the shotgun, 2x2, they line up. They'll snap it, give it out in the flats for Ashton Malm down the sideline at the 40, at the 35, and another flag is down, and McPherson goes out of bounds with Malm at the 32, but there's a flag down at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Lane, last week we saw a little bit of this as well where penalties kind of stalled drives at times for the Bullpups, especially kind of in that 3rd quarter with some holding penalties. Last week at Circle. Right now, this is kind of stalled out. They would have had an excellent drive going, but a couple of penalties here, most of them holding, all of them holding actually, have held them back.
Holdings on A.J. Bullocks. That moves them further back, but again, extra play. But this makes it 3rd down and about 28 yards now. They're at the McPherson 48. So 3rd down and 28. The clock is going to run, and they may just kind of go with the same play that they did last time. Head coach Jace Pavlovich is going up to the near official and saying, he's probably saying, I'm going to run this clock and then call timeout, which means if he calls timeout, there will be, once the game clock goes to about zeros on the play clock, it'll be about 17 seconds. I think that's indeed what's going to happen. This will be the last timeout of the half. And timeout called with 16.8 but we'll round it up to 17. Final time out of the half for McPherson.
And Lane, this if I've done my math correctly, if they're a 7-yard snap, this would be a 69-yard field goal attempt.
Not happening.
I don't think it's going to happen either.
Nobody in the NFL can make that.
I don't know. With the new K-ball rules, the kicker ball rules,
Fair?
now that you can, they've changed it from you only get like an hour or two before or 45 minutes before the week or before the game to break in your balls to now you can break in the balls for all season at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
That's gonna affect some kickers, and it already has, really. I mean, we're seeing longer and better field goal attempts as the year's gone on.
We're not going to see it in high school, though, right?
Probably not.
Exactly. So McPherson with their final timeout with 16 seconds to go first half. They lead 21-6, but now they see 3rd and 28 after 3 straight penalties called on them. We'd like to thank some of our sponsors for helping us out all season long to give you coverage of McPherson High School athletics. McPherson Car Connection, the Boiler House, People's Bank and Trust, Erickson Custom Building, Midway Motors, Prairie Land Partners, American Family Insurance with Steve Barr, Jar Automotive, Iron Horse Financial, Bethany Village, Advanced Physical Therapy, and 37 Print Co.
And if you were wondering, Lane, that was our weekly segment on special teams.
Okay, sounds good. I had one of those last week, too. In the shotgun, 2x2. It is now actually a play action, and they'll fire a jailbreak screen far side. It's Millicent who catches it near midfield, then brought down at the 45. Clock will stop as Chanute will call a timeout with 8 seconds left in the half. This is just about, or actually Aaron Winter made the catch. My apologies. But Chanute calls a timeout, their first of the half. It'll be 4th down and long for McPherson at the Chanute 45. This will be pretty much just a punt situation and what could be the last play of the first half.
I think this is going to be an arm punt.
Okay.
You're gonna drop back to pass. You're gonna take a 7-step drop.
What am I thinking?
eight with 8 seconds left. Just run as far back as possible. Throw it up in the air, probably to Ashton Mom, if I would guess, and see if your man can make a play. If not, going to half, up 21-6.
I don't know what in the world I'm thinking. Not thinking of the Hail Mary, but yeah, they practice that every week. You know, it's going to happen. They say it's probably going to happen at some point, and especially end of half, end of game situation. So probably go for the Hail Mary. They do have a couple of special plays with it, but I won't say exactly which ones. But I think it's pretty much going to be an arm punt, and it is the 45. Bengtson can throw it that far. He can. I mean, we saw him with his feet set throw 40 yards down the field. And now Dane Becker is in. It's Puhala at the slot. On the near side, it's Paxton Ingalls and Ashton Malm on the far side.
They don't have guys far enough back for this.
Well, they also don't have an 11th man, as here comes Bo Barkley in late. And yeah, the safeties are only at the 30, so now there was miscommunication as nobody was prepared, and Bankson just throws it away, and it hits out of bounds with 1 second left in the half. About half the guys went on that snap, and I don't know what happened, but everybody stayed stagnant. None of the receivers ran. Bankson just kind of had to do something with it, and he just uncorked it down the field. That's all he could do. As now Chanute will have it at their own 45 with 1 play left in the half, and they can possibly go for a home run ball.
Yeah, in an ideal world, you wanted to take another, quite honestly, a second and 7 milliseconds, or however 1.7 seconds is what I'll say. You wanted to take that much more time running around, but just did not have time to run around as like you said, there was a little bit of miscommunication that just didn't allow this to set up.
That possession turns into a net yardage of 0 because they started and ended at the Chanute 45. With 1 second left in the half, Chanute with a chance to get a home run ball, but McPherson in prevent mode. Here comes Barkley to bring him down. No home run ball this time. Barkley's just going to end the half on the sack and a loss of 17, and it's halftime here in McPherson.
What a way to go into the half. A 17-yard loss for a sack. Bo Barkley got it done after I would call it a roller coaster of emotion of that last drive for the Bullpups offense. But what an excellent job to finish off this half and take all the momentum into the Bullpups locker room.
Indeed. Well, we'll head to the Great Plains Federal Credit Union halftime report coming up. You're listening to McPherson High School football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
Tonight's coverage of Bullpup football continues next with the Great Plains Federal Credit Union Halftime Report. Coming up, we'll recap tonight's first half and catch you up on other scores around the area. 98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Looking for your next ride? This is Jason. Come see me at McPherson Car Connection, where you'll find quality used vehicles you can trust. McPherson Car Connection. Stop by today for a quick, no-hassle, enjoyable car buying experience.
McPherson's newest lunch and dinner spot is here. The Boiler House at 1725 East Euclid on the edge of the McPherson College campus serves fresh salads, sandwiches, and wraps, plus drinks for everyone. Open weekdays from 11 to 2, 4:30 to 8.
Is hospice care right for you or your loved one? Hospice and Home Care of Reno County can help guide you through those difficult decisions, offering guidance and support, whether it be at home, in a care facility, or in the comfortable surroundings of Hospice House. We are your friends and neighbors, caring about our community and the people who live here. That's why you can depend on us for compassion and support at the end of life. Hospice and Home Care of Reno County, your local not-for-profit agency serving a 50-mile radius of Hutchinson. We care how you live.
One of the most important elements of success is knowing when to expand and when to focus on strengthening what you have. At People's Bank and Trust, we've done just that over the years, ensuring that we always have a solid base to provide for our customers and our community. At People's Bank and Trust, we never promise more than we can deliver, and what we deliver is safe, sound, reliable banking that puts you first. Let us put our experience to work for you and your family. People's Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Struggling to catch your breath? Whether it's asthma, COPD, or pulmonary dysfunction, Hutchinson Pulmonology Associates are here to help you breathe easier and live life to the fullest. Don't let breathing problems hold you back. With expert care and personalized treatment, we're here for you every breath of the way. Visit hutchregional.com or call 620-513-4800 today. Breathe better, feel better with Hutchinson Regional.
With your Ad Astra Radio halftime sports update, I'm Lucky Kid. The Kansas Jayhawks open Big 12 action this weekend as they host West Virginia, while pregame coverage on 94.7 KSKU starting at 3:30 Saturday afternoon. K-State is off this weekend. The Kansas City Chiefs are in the Jersey Swamps for Sunday Night Football as they take on the New York Giants. The Chiefs still looking for that first win of the season. Pre-game coverage on Mix 96.7 gets underway Sunday evening at 6. The Kansas City Royals are taking on the Toronto Blue Jays this weekend. We'll not have tonight's game or tomorrow night's game on the radio due to sports coverage previously scheduled, but we will have Sunday's pregame at 12:30 on 98.9 and 1540 KMCP. Saturday's KCAC schedule includes one of the top NAIA games in the nation this weekend. McPherson College Bulldogs traveling to Evangel. Pre-game coverage will get underway tomorrow evening at 5:30 on 98.9 and 1540 KMCP. Daytime action on Saturday will include the Bethany Swedes hosting the Sterling Warriors. You can hear the Swede version of events on Smoky Hills Rock 95.5, the Warrior View on Kansas Rocks 100.3. Either way, the pregame will start at 12:30 for a 1 p.m. kickoff. The other KCAC afternoon games on Saturday have Southwestern at Ottawa, Friends at Tabor, Avila at St. Mary, and in the other night game, Kansas Wesleyan is at Bethel. McPherson College Bulldogs Soccer has the weekend off. Their next action Wednesday where they host Sterling. Bulldogs Soccer also at Evangel on Saturday. The women's match will be at noon, the men at 2:30. McPherson College Cross Country will be running Saturday in the Woody Greeno Jane Dirksen Invitational, that in Lincoln, Nebraska. Bethany Volleyball will be hosting Avila Saturday evening, while Central Christian College Volleyball hosts Oklahoma Panhandle State this Saturday afternoon at 1. We'll be back with scores right after this.
More of the Great Plains Federal Credit Union halftime report is coming up after this. Visit GPFCU in Hillsboro or McPherson or online at greatplainsfcu.com. Bullpup football on KMCP.
Kansas, trust the power of blue for your CanCare plan. Families trust Healthy Blue for doctor visits and prescriptions. New and expecting moms trust Healthy Blue for pregnancy support. And Healthy Blue provides extra benefits for your whole family. Choose the brand Kansans have trusted for more than 80 years. Visit choosehealthyblue.com/KS for more details. Trust the power of blue.
For over 80 years, Farm Bureau Financial Services has served the unique needs of the ag industry. We get to know you and your operation, providing coverage for your farm, ranch, machinery, crops, livestock, and so much more. Find out why we've been the #1 ag insurer for 25 years. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Call Farm Bureau agent Luke Bauer in McPherson at 620-241-0225.
#1 ag insurer across our territory. 1996 to 2021 SNL PNC Group Direct Written Premium.
Hey Bullpup fans, it's Corey at Midway Motors. We're excited for another great year of Bullpup sports. Midway has been a proud supporter of McPherson schools for over 30 years. There's nothing better than seeing the kids play, learn, and pursue greatness as a team. As a community, let's work together to make it the best experience possible for them. Be positive, always encourage, and let the kids compete. Go get 'em, pups. Midway Motors, for every mile of life.
Even trying to enjoy a fun event can be difficult after the loss of a loved one. Unanswered questions, feelings of stress and grief are only natural. As the owner and director of Inman Funeral Home, I bring over 25 years of experience bringing comfort and empathy during time of loss. Rely on me to guide you through all aspects of planning a funeral service with compassion, dignity, and respect. I'm Athena Johnson with Inman Funeral Home. Find me at inmanfh.com.
Checking the Ad Astra Radio scoreboard. First off, the Royals do lead the Blue Jays 10-0. That game now in the top of the 5th inning. Some scores around the area. Mays up on Hutch High 28-7. That game near halftime. Great Bend and Bueller. Great Bend leading there 20-0 at the half. Trinity Catholic and Remington right now knotted up at 13. That game is in a lightning delay at the moment. Halstead leading Nickerson in the second quarter 35-0. Lions late second quarter trailing Republic County 24-0. Sterling leads Inman at the half 28-24 in what has been a seesaw game all evening. McPherson up on Chanute late second quarter 14-6. Hillsboro trailing Heston 29-14. That game went into a lightning delay in the second inning. Newton trailing Goddard Eisenhower 21-0 at the end of one. Andale up on Rose Hill at the half 40-7. Derby and Salina South were tied at 7 at the end of the first quarter. Some other scores, Southeast of Saline up on Beloit 14-0 at the end of 1. Marion leads Bennington at the end of 1 by a score of 6-0. Frankfort leading Solomon 22-0 at the end of 1. And Abilene and Concordia, they are tied at the half at 7. Stay with us for further updates coming up on high school football during your game. High school scoreboard show tonight at 10:30 on 98.9 and 1540 KMCP. Back to the game right after this. I'm Lucky Kid.
At People's Bank and Trust, we value our customers. We know you have plenty of choices for your mortgage loans, but we think we have what you're looking for: relationship banking. And if you're considering refinancing or purchasing a new home, check our competitive rates before you make that change. Your payments will be made at home, and you'll receive good personalized service. That's how we've established many long-lasting relationships. Make a change, know your lender, and make your payments at home with People's Bank and Trust. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
This is Leah Amdahl from Farmers Alliance and proud mom of Bullpup number 58. After living in several different places prior to settling in McPherson, our family truly appreciates the feeling of community we found here. Being a part of Farmers Alliance crew also fills me with pride as we root for our local community, students, and coaches, both in the game and beyond. While you hustle for that victory, we're on the sideline safeguarding our customers. At Farmers Alliance, we're thrilled to be a part of this fantastic community, and we can't wait to cheer on all our local teams to success.
At McPherson Laundry and Dry Cleaners, we take pride in helping our customers look good, and we're proud to be a part of downtown McPherson with drop-off and pickup services now at A5 Western. We can save you time with our laundry service and offer specialty services as well, including wedding dress cleaning and preservation, bedding, drapes, and blankets. Drop off and pick up from McPherson Laundry and Dry Cleaners at A5 Western in downtown McPherson.
Need reliable electrical work? Call Headland Electric in McPherson. We are locally family-owned and committed to providing quality electrical services. Give us a call at 620-241-3757 or visit headlandelectricinc.com.
The Bradbury Company, headquartered in Mound Ridge, is a family-owned custom equipment builder, and they're hiring qualified candidates for manufacturing roles. Apply online at bradburygroup.com. The Bradbury Company, wishing the best of luck to all the teams.
Bullpup football on KMCP.
Welcome back to the Great Plains FCU halftime report. McPherson up 21-6 at halftime. The junior cheerleaders currently performing on the turf right now at McPherson Stadium. But it was a great first half for McPherson, but until about that last minute and a half when they had 3 penalties in a row, and then they almost they had a Hail Mary play with about 8 seconds left, and that got blown up offensively. So, but you take away that, it's been an incredible first half for McPherson. They've had 4 drives on offense. 3 of them resulted in touchdowns.
Yeah, it's been an excellent showing here for the Bullpups, both on the offensive side and the defensive side. I mean, until that last drive, the Bullpups were 3 drives, 3 touchdowns, and all of them by way of some sort of pass to Ashton Malm, whether it be just a fly, a screen, whatever it may be. But they've showed out really well, and I think Carter Bankston's having one of the best games he's had so far in his young career.
So what do you have numbers-wise so far as we are 2 quarters in?
Yeah, I've got the Bullpups passing for about 188 yards with 266-ish total yards unofficially, with Ashton Malm 4 catches, 3 touchdowns, and 153 yards receiving. He's obviously the leading receiver here tonight, but Paxton Ingles got his first 2 catches for 14 yards as well. And on the rushing attack, both Brody Millison and Dane Becker, 35 yards. Both have had 6 carries for 35 yards as well, with Carter Bankston adding 1 rush for 8 yards, so that's 78 yards rushing. On the other side of things, it's been a completely different story for Chanute. They've got 136 total yards, but 117 of those have come on the ground, with their leading rusher being Jalen Duncan with 10 carries and 105 yards. Harding, we've talked about him a lot here tonight, but he's only got 5 carries. One of those was the sack for 3 yards after the 17-yard loss, but 20 before that. And he's only completed 2 passes, one to Kyson Seamster for 7, and the other one to Jacob Thompson for 12 for only 19 yards passing.
Wow. And, just mentioning with Ashton Malm, just speaking of the the touchdown passes, you said you had how much total on the game? 153
for Malm.
153. 141 are on the touchdown catches, which is insane. So still a couple of minutes before the second half begins. We'll give you a couple of quick scoreboard updates that we've gotten over the last couple of minutes. Buhler trailing Great Bend 32-7. Central Christian defeating Stafford 62-0. Gossel falling to Rural Vista 46-0. Heston and Hillsborough had a lightning delay. They're back underway. They're near halftime. Heston up 36-20. That's the McPherson area game of the week. And then Little River up 62-0 against Center. Sterling up 36-24 against Inman as they near the end of the third quarter. So those scoreboard updates are brought to you by McPherson Dental Care, providing healthy smiles with a gentle touch. We'll take a 60-second timeout. We'll return for second half action between McPherson and Chanute. It's McPherson 21, Chanute 6 at halftime. You're listening to Bullpup Football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
Life moves pretty fast, but not at Freddy's. When that first bite hits, you can't help but slow down. The secret to quality time is just quality and time. That's Freddy's.
Mom, what's wrong with them?
That's called quality time. Don't stare.
Let the party begin where the pizza never ends. Come fuel up, raise up a cup, gather up your grub at the Hub.
Hey, it's Sammy from the Hub Brick Oven and Brewery, inviting y'all to join us in Mound Ridge. The station, Coffee and Bakery, is open at 7:30 a.m. Monday through Saturday for all your coffee, bakery, and ice cream fixes. Don't forget to try one of our delicious appetizers. Our brick oven is fired up from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Come get your grub at the Hub.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Moments away from second half kickoff between McPherson and Chanute. McPherson will have the ball to start off the second half, leading 21-6 over the Blue Comets of Chanute. Chanute did come in 2-0 on the season, ranked number 5 out of the media members for high school football in 4A. McPherson receiving votes coming in 1-1. Before we talk a little more about the game, I'd like to thank our sponsors for helping us out, for giving you Coverage of Bullpup football all year long. Farmer State Bank, Crop Lumber, Mound Ridge Tractor, Blue Stem Communities, Health Equip, Hospice and Home Care, Reno County, Hutch Regional Medical Center, Scooters Coffee, Farm Bureau with Luke Bauer, Inman Funeral Home, Headland Electric, and Archer Gear for Sports. Special thanks to them and everybody else for helping us out all year long. Don't forget, tomorrow there's a big college football game coming on KMCP. McPherson College, 3-0 for the first time in 15 years, heads to Springfield, Missouri to take on 22nd ranked Evangel, also 3-0. We'll have coverage of that here on KMCP. Kickoff will be at 6, and the Midway Motors drive to the game will start at 5:30. So as we get into this second half, there's actually right now the 3-minute buffer to have both teams warm up. Nathan, McPherson has the ball to start the second half. What should we look for?
I think you said it early or late in that first half, but I think they're going to go into, all right, let our offensive line take over, try to wear out this defensive front, and just let Brody Millison and Dane Becker kind of take over this football game. Now, after that, I'd like to see them use a little bit more play action, go back to that option play or that triple option play and just kind of make some quick passing that are high percentage plays that'll get you 4, 5, 6, 7 yards at most, and kind of take some time off this clock, but also go get yours. Go score. Go put it on them. You get the ball starting the second half. Go make this a 4-possession game. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, with the time is not on Chanute's side, but this is definitely doable. It's a 2-possession game. Chanute had one heck of a drive that ended in a 60-yard touchdown run by Jalen Duncan. But the McPherson defense has been terrific, forcing in their 5 possessions, turnover on downs, punt, touchdown, punt, and a end of half. But the last 2 drives combined, net yardage of -15 for Chanute. Now, one of them was on the Hail Mary play to end the half, and it was a sack by Bo Barkley, which drove him back 13 yards to end the first half. But it's been a pretty good job by the front line for McPherson defensively. We got to see, especially with this running core for Chanute, they've been pretty good, especially with Jalen Duncan. Yeah, I mean, we put it in our notes for a reason. Seen as terrific athlete. Yep. And he is. He's strong, he's fast, he moves well, has good vision. The unfortunate part is he just didn't get to play last year. Now as a junior, he's getting good playing time. He's going to be an excellent back the rest of the year and moving forward into next year as well. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Chanute, they're trying to turn it around after falling in sectionals last year. They want to go a little further in the playoffs. And before we start off this second half, Nathan, you made a brilliant point while we were off the air. Yes, McPherson has controlled the game so far for the most part, leading 21-6. But Clete Frizzell, the head coach for Chanute, is in his 7th season and has only lost 13 games. That is an average of a little over 2 a season, because 6 total seasons. But you don't lose just 13 games in 6+ years by not playing your tails off when their back is against the wall. 100%. And another thing to keep in mind here, and I just thought of this now, is you drive 3 hours. The Bullpups had to do it last year when they went to Chanute, but then you have a 30-minute rain delay or lightning delay, and you don't start the game until about 7:30, so that can get you off as well. So we'll see how this second half plays out for them. Ensuing kick is underway. Winter has it near side 35. McPherson working from left to right as we view the field, and McPherson will have it to start off the second half at their own 36-yard line. So we'll see, or 37 rather, we'll see how McPherson will start off this second half. Yeah, that last drive, the last drive of the offensive first half. I mean, we talked about it. It was kind of an emotional roller coaster, if you will, with moving forward, having a 7, 8, 10-yard play, getting moved back because of penalties. Let's see if they can respond here and put a nice drive together. Carter Bankton in the pistol. Becker is the tailback. 2 receivers lined up wide to the left. Tight end receiver wide right with. They're on the right hash, I should say. The tight end is right behind the right tackle. Bankton will take the snap, handoff. Becker going up the middle, but gets hit behind the line, or maybe just no gain on that play. And it is a terrific start to the second half for Chanute. Dirk Hanna and Brady Alonzo up the middle. Correction, that was Stephen Watson, not Dirk Hanna, but still good job up front by Chanute. No gain, 2nd and 10. Yeah, and this linebacking core, I mean, outside of Kyson Seamster, the other two linebackers in Kemper Manley and Asher Love, both seniors, they played a good amount of football, and they're going to be able to read and react and flow downhill to the running back, and that time they did that excellently.
Second down and 10 in the pistol. Man in the backfield. Two receivers and a tight end wide to the right. Another handoff. Becker stutter step move across the 40 to the 42-yard line. They'll give him the 43, actually, for a gain of 6 to make it 3rd down and 4 coming up for McPherson.
Yeah, again, if you lose a yard or have no gain, you're going to need to get 5, 6, 7 yards. It just puts more pressure on that second down play to be successful. That time, now you're 3rd and manageable, 3rd and medium. You've got pretty much the entire playbook to play with.
A little over a minute into the second half, McPherson up 21-6, but facing 3rd down and 4. They're at their own 43. They need the 47. Bankton in the pistol, wipes off his hands with the towel right on his backside. Two receivers wide to the right. They'll hand it off. Becker going to the far edge, and he gets the first down, cuts upfield at midfield, and across that to the Chanute 49-yard line. 3 straight run plays. The first one forced no gain, but they moved the chains 2 plays later with Dane Becker, the tailback.
Yeah, just trust your back. I mean, he had 123 yards last week for a reason. And trust this offensive line. They blocked in front of 2 guys who went over 100 yards and over 350 yards on the ground. Just keep giving it to them. Take time off this clock and really tire out this Chanute defense.
First-year assistant coach Anthony Broder giving him pretty much a pat on the back. They'll throw near side, caught by Barkley across the 40. They'll go down at around the 39.5-yard line. A gain of about 9 yards brings it 2nd and short. It was a play-action bootleg right, and Bankton threw on the run, finding the tight end, Bo Barkley, to make it 2nd and 1.
Yeah, right when you run it 3-4 times in a row and the defense thinks, okay, another run's going to come here. Just play action pass, fake that run play, get outside of the pocket, and find an open tight end in the flat. It's guaranteed to pick up 8 to 9 yards.
In the shotgun, one back on each side of Bankton on the right hash. It's Barkley and Millison. They'll hand it off. Millison going up the gut for the first down, trying to find the right edge, but brought down at the 35. Needed 1, got 5. Moved the chains for McPherson at the Chanute 35-yard line. 9:25 to go in the third quarter. McPherson up 21-6.
Lane, did you see how far downfield the entire offensive line got on their push? It was 3, 4, 5 yards downfield. That was excellent blocking up front. These guys are really meshing as a unit and really taking pride in run blocking.
McPherson gets set now, 1st and 10 on the right hash. Millison the tailback in the pistol, trips to the left with a tight end to receivers. Malm lined up wide to the right. Now the tight end in motion left to right. Handoff Millison, went up the middle, now back to the left. Got a couple of yards right out of the gate, then got stuffed about a yard further, but still a gain of about 3 yards, 2nd and 7 for McPherson coming up.
Yeah, right now, this is kind of a picture-perfect drive to start this half. You've almost taken 3.5 minutes off this clock, up by 2 scores, and you're driving. Now I'd look for maybe a shot play here, but also just get it out in a manageable. Try to pick up this first down, 10-yard play.
In the pistol with a tailback behind Bankton. That's Millison again. 2 receivers wide right, tight end receiver wide left. Just inside the right hash. 8:20 to go in the third quarter. They'll look to throw. Bankton fires immediately. Caught. Barkley, 25, first down. Lowers the head at the 20. Tries to spin away from it. Goes no further. Going backwards. They'll mark the forward progress at the 21, but move the chains. That gains 11 yards to make it 1st and 10 McPherson.
Excellent play call. Excellent design. That side of the field that Bo Barkley caught that football on had Ashton Malm. They used Ashton Malm as a decoy, as it looks like we're going to have a cramp on the far side, but they used Ashton Malm as a decoy and clear out that side. Bo Barkley just a 10-yard out route underneath, wide open. Excellent play call, excellent design.
Well, there is a man down, and you mentioned it's probably a cramp, but it's the guy that Chanute does not want it to have a cramp. That's Jalen Duncan, who's down on the far side. He's a starting defensive back, too. He's been a terrific tailback, but he's down on the far side getting one of his legs stretched out. This injury timeout is brought to you by Pyle Law. If you've been injured at work or in a car wreck, contact Pyle Law. They'll give you the options to give you the benefits that you deserve. Now, it has been a bit of a humid day here in McPherson. It did rain earlier, which makes the air kind of humid, makes things a little bit warmer and harder to, rehydrate. When it's humid, it's harder for the sweat that's on your body to evaporate and cool you off. So sometimes that can be a factor.
Yeah, it absolutely can be a factor. Get yourself some pickle juice, get yourself some Gatorade, get yourself some mustard, whatever you want to do to get yourself rehydrated is always going to be a key for success on long, sustained drives.
Back in play, though, McPherson faces 1st and 10, man in motion. Bankton play action, rolls to the right. He'll find Barkley on the run, caught at the 15. He's at the 10, hit from behind at the 7-yard line. Brings up 1st and goal on a gain of 14 yards. Another pitch and catch. Carter Bankton to Bo Barkley.
This is the Bo Barkley drive. I mean, he is just picking up chunk yards. 9, 11, now 14. 34 yards just to Bo Barkley on this drive, and he is single-handedly keeping this Bullpups offense moving in the right direction right now.
Just a little over 7.5 minutes left in the third quarter. McPherson 21, Chanute 6. The Bullpups knocking on the door again, trying to extend their lead. And as we talked about right before the halftime turned into the second half, I should say, trying to make this a 4-possession game. Shotgun, 2 backs in the backfield, Becker and Millison. They'll hand it off. Becker cuts to the left side, now up the middle, across the goal line, and he's in. Touchdown, McPherson. The first 3 through the air, this time give it to the ground. That's been the game all drive long, and Dane Becker cashes in with just his 2nd rushing touchdown of the season. 27-6 Bullpups, 7:15 to go in the third.
And Lane, I guarantee if you asked head coach Jace Pavlovich coming into the game if you would be up 2 scores going into halftime and then get the second half kickoff and make it a 3-score game after one drive, he would be ecstatic right now. And that's exactly what the Bullpups have done. They've just imposed their will on Chanute's defense right now, and they're up 28-6.
Yep, Hoover's extra point is good. 28-6 McPherson over Chanute. What a start for McPherson. 7:15 to go, third quarter. We're back in 30 seconds. You're listening to McPherson High School football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
There is still time to make 2025 your year. For a limited time, sign up for MTC Fiber Internet and get free internet until 2026. You'll get internet that is 10 times faster than cable or wireless, plus a local network built by neighbors for neighbors. For more information or to sign up for service, stop by your local MTC office, call 877-216-9951, or visit mtcforme.com.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Bullpups do their job to start off the second half. 28-6 they lead over Chanute, scoring on the first drive after the halftime break, ending with a 7-yard touchdown run by Dane Becker, a drive that goes 73 yards, taking up 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Not only scoring, but wasting some clock in the process.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things to keep in mind, Lane, is that missed 2-point conversion in the first half by Chanute. It's a 22-point game, so no matter what, you're going to have to go for 2 at some point to even try to tie this football game.
Jackson Hoover ready to boot it away. 2 back deep to return for Chanute. Hoover kicks his side over side. It will be returned at the 10-yard line on the far side at the 20. Mows over a Bullpup across the 30. Still driving across the 35. Finally down to the 37-yard line. We've talked about angry runs in the past. How about an angry kick return by Chanute? First down coming up for the Blue Comets at their own 37 on their first drive of the second half.
Yeah, we kind of talked about it a little bit off air, but Harding, normally a really good quarterback. Like I said, 70% completion rate last week. It's just 7 of 10 for 121. Been slightly off today on some of his throws and inaccurate. He's got to get back to just playing relaxed, playing in rhythm, and try to get this football out to your playmakers as quickly as possible.
First down and 10 at their own 37 on the right hash, and the pistol trips to the left side, play action. Harding fires a backwards pass, but it's caught near side. Chuck going to the right, then to the left across midfield, and down from behind across midfield to the McPherson 47-yard line. Bo Small with the catch and run. I think they'll call that a run because it looked like a backwards pass from where we saw it, but still move the chains. First down for Chanute.
Yeah, but a play like that is simple. It's easy. It hits a lot of time where even if you don't get the chunk yardages like they did with 15 yards on the pickup, it still goes for 3, 4, 5 yards. That's an excellent job of just trying to get your quarterback back in rhythm.
One play later, they are in McPherson territory, a gain of 16 yards on that first play of the drive. 1st and 10 from the McPherson 47. In the pistol, it'll be a pitch out to the tailback right side, split through a couple of Bullpups in the backfield to get a gain of about 3 yards on the right edge for a gain by Jordan Patterson to the McPherson 43. They'll call it a gain of 4, 2nd and 6 coming up.
Yeah, now Chanute's trying to attack the outside of this defense. They're trying to attack that Will linebacker, that Sam linebacker, Matt Berger, Nolan Piercy, and the corners in Keaton Crane and Aaron Winter, and they're going right at them.
It's been the run attack that has really worked out for Chanute so far. 2-by-2, they line up in the shotgun. 6 minutes to go, third quarter. Chanute down by 22 points. Harding, 3-step drop. Here comes the pressure off the blitz, and it is dropped on the near side. They threw it immediately to Jalen Duncan out of the backfield on a wheel route. It was a low pass. Duncan then fumbled it, did not get it down, and it hits the turf at around the 40-yard line. Incomplete, makes it 3rd and 6.
Yeah, that wasn't an accurate throw. I wouldn't put that one on Harding all that much. I'd actually give the credit where credit's due to the safety, Carter Busker. He was right there in position to break that up, and it almost felt like Jalen Duncan heard the footsteps coming.
Well, Duncan actually went to the sideline a little gimpy. He did go down earlier with a cramp, so Jordan Patterson comes in as a tailback. 3rd down and 6 for Chanute. They will have a chest-high snap. Fires right side, caught, but immediately dropped at the line of scrimmage. Good job on the back line by Nolan Piercy after the catch made by Gage Cummings. That makes it 4th down and 6 on the no gain.
Yeah, an excellent job by Nolan Piercy. The last 2 games for Nolan Piercy have been really, really good. He's putting on some good film right now and out of that Sam linebacker position.
Obviously, we're in 4-down situation for Chanute because they're down 28-6, 5:15 to go, third quarter. And they'll line up in the shotgun, 4th down and 6 at the McPherson 43. They'll rush 5, Will McPherson. They'll fire across the middle. It's caught for a 1st down inside the 30 at the 25. Lost the football. It's picked up. Nolan Piercy on the near side at the 30, 35, and down to the 36-yard line. It was in the midst of Gage Cummings. He kept pushing forward, and then he coughed up the ball, and Piercy got it right into his hands, and the Bullpups take over.
What an excellent job by the Bullpups. I mean, they rallied there. They gave up 24 yards on the catch, but then were able to rally to the football and just, hey, one guy hold him up and we'll just try to rip this thing out. They did so successfully, and they get momentum back on the side of the Bullpups.
Nolan Piercy has both defensive takeaways for McPherson, and that was perfect timing. You mentioned how great he's been, and now McPherson takes over after the fumble at their own 36-yard line, 4:58 to go in the third quarter. Handoff, Becker up the middle, gets stuffed for a loss of about 2 yards. 2nd and long coming up.
Yeah, just a classic. Hey, we just got a big momentum shift. Let's try to slow everything down, give off a run. I'd expect them to kind of take a shot here eventually on this drive. I know 2nd down and 11 is probably not ideal for that, but look for them to take a shot here, if not this play, but the 3rd down play.
So McPherson with 2nd down and 11, as Nathan mentioned, under 4.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Bankson is in the pistol with Becker, the tailback. They'll play action, throw it near side and too high, intended for Piercy. Had it in his mitts, but just the fingertips, incomplete, makes it 3rd down and long.
Yeah, just a little out of sync there with the tight end Nolan Piercy, but Bankston just needed to step into that throw just a touch more, put it on his numbers, and there was room to work. Now 3rd down and 11, and you're going to look towards your Ashton Malm, your Isaac Puhala, and Paxton Ingalls here on the outside.
4:16, the clock stops on the incompletion. They'll look to throw. It's a screen pass near side, caught by Malm. He's got extra blockers going up to the 45, cuts left at the 50, gets the 1st down and more, and he's got some blockers ahead of him. Far side, 35-30, 25-20, 15-10-5. Forget the hat trick. Ashton Malm's got a haul. Touchdown, McPherson. The 4th receiving touchdown for Ashton Malm, and we saw it a bunch last year. A jailbreak screen, and Ashton takes it the distance. 65 yards to the crib, 34-6 McPherson, 4:01 to go in the third.
Lane, that jailbreak screen is the play that I'm gonna call it as made Ashton Malm as there's an injured Bullpup down in the end zone. But it's the play that made Ashton Malm. He made that play famous for the Bullpups, and that's a staple of theirs. They haven't yet run it to to Ashton Malm this season. They've run it to Aaron Winter. They've run it to Paxton Ingalls, but getting back to giving it to Ashton Malm opened up that 65 yards, and that puts him over 210 yards. Right now, 218 yards on the play. It looks like that was Ashton Malm down, and it looks like he's walking with a limp because he's got some cramps. But if there's anybody that deserves to get a cramp here, I shouldn't say deserves to get a cramp, but would get a cramp. He's run a long way today. 218 yards, that's a long way for him to run here tonight.
Yeah, for sure it is, and what a job. That is the 4th touchdown reception by Ashton Malm. 34-6 is the current score. Jackson Hoover will be in to kick the extra point. And Ashton Malm is a speedster. We know that. I mentioned Flashton Malm. He went to a lot of camps over the summer. At one point, and measured his speed on a radar, topped out at 21.7 miles an hour. A lot of pro athletes can't even run that fast. And Ashton Malm, who's just a junior, able to do so. Jackson Hoover coming in to kick the extra point, try to make it 35-6.
And for those of you worried,
good snap, good hold, kick is good to make it 35-6. Go ahead, Nathan.
Sorry, excuse me. But for those of you worried, Ashton Malm, when he got to the sideline, smiling, laughing, getting stretched out now, he'll be okay.
Yeah, for sure he will. There's a huge jar of pickle juice on the sideline, by the way, or not just pickle juice, but a huge jar of pickles. That could help him out in this. But 35-6 McPherson, 4:01 to go in the third quarter. We're back in a moment. You're listening to Bullpup Football on KMCP.
Have you been injured in an accident? At Pyle Law, Tom takes the time to evaluate your personal injury case and fight for the compensation you deserve. Whether it's medical bills, lost wages, or pain and suffering, Tom Pyle understands the challenges you're facing and works tirelessly to help you get back on your feet. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Call Pyle Law at 620-241-9000 for your free consultation today. Because at Pyle Law, Tom takes the time to fight for you.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Feels appropriate we're playing Thunderstruck here at McPherson Stadium, not just because of the weather that has been in this area of Kansas, but the way McPherson has laid the boom on Chanute. 35-6 in their home opener. Most recently capped off on a touchdown, 65 yards to the house. Carter Banks into Ashton Malm, the 4th receiving touchdown of the game for Ashton.
Yeah, man, he is one special talent. You talked about the speed earlier. One of the things I wanted to add in there, he had to break a tackle, so he had to show some strength there and did really well around that 45-yard line in Blue Comet territory, but then that speed took over and he took it to the house.
The ensuing kick is underway, returned by Cummings to the far side, across the 30, brought down at the 32-yard line, or the 33 rather. Nope, they'll give him the 32. Chanute will take over. First down and 10, now behind by 29 points.
And you know what? You know who I'm going to credit that? And Ashton Malm deserves, and he deserves, I shouldn't say a steak dinner, but he deserves something for it. But Nolan Piercy made that play, made all of that drive possible with his takeaway down here. I don't know if he was the guy that actually got it ripped it out, but again, he's another guy. It's a bullpup defender in Nolan Piercy that's just out there making plays.
I guess the team dinner at Trinity Lutheran wasn't enough yesterday. This time they got to add a little bit more. First down and 10, Harding, 3-step drop. Here comes the pressure from Stutzman, gets out of it, fakes a pass, now has a lane on the far sideline, 45 across midfield. He'll go out of bounds across the 45 in McPherson territory to the 43-yard line. What a job by Chris Harding. He's trying to bring Chanute back into this game with 3:47 to go, down 35-6.
Yeah, 25-yard pickup there for Harding, but he's going to have to take over this game if they want to have success. I mean, four possession game, and you're not an ideal time left to go here.
First down and 10 for Chanute. They're on the right hash, 35-6 McPherson. They're at the McPherson 43-yard line. This is their second possession of the half. Their last one resulted in a fumble recovered by Nolan Piercy. Harding in a 3-step drop, looking to the flats. They got it near side for Patterson. Cuts left, then to the right. Across the 40, dives forward for extra yardage to the 36-yard line. Getting a 7 yards on first down.
Yeah, just get it out into the flat. You see pressure coming. if you can stand in there and kind of wear the pressure a little bit, just get it out to the running back, he can make a couple of guys miss. There's going to be no one there. It's going to be a soft spot in the defense. That time it picks up about 7 yards.
Second down and about 3 yards. As Chanute just now breaks the huddle, but there was plenty of time on the play clock. In the pistol, trips to the right and between the hashes. One receiver wide left with Patterson in the backfield. Harding takes the snap, chest high, looks right, fires immediately. It's caught, but then met up immediately. Gage Cummings had it. Nolan Piercy, the one to stop him. He didn't bring him down, but marked forward progress for just a gain of 1. Makes it 3rd down and 2 coming up on the right hash for the Blue Comets.
Yeah, just a simple 2-yard out route. Try to get it out again into the flat and keep your quarterback Harding in rhythm, and he gets it out in time. But an excellent job by the flat defender, which would be the cornerback on that side, and Keaton Crane on making a nice open field tackle.
3rd down and 2 for Chanute. On the right hash, Patterson in the backfield, 2 by 2. They line up receivers wise. Both of them are across, or actually past the numbers on the far side. Harding looking right, fires immediately high, but caught by Cummings at the 31 and down immediately. Moves the chains for a first down for a gain of about 5 yards.
Yeah, again, just a back shoulder throw there. I wouldn't even call it an out route, but more of a back shoulder comeback for the wideout. And again, keeping Chris Harding the second in rhythm is going to be key for the Chanute Blue Comets as this game continues on.
They're at the 30-yard line, 2:13 to go, third quarter, 35-6 McPherson. 1st and 10 for Chanute in McPherson territory. Trips to the left on the right hash, play action. Harding fakes, now just goes up the middle, got past the line of scrimmage, but only a couple of yard gain past that as the Bullpups came in defensively. Matt Berger, and a flag comes in after the play. A little bit of hand fighting going on away from the play between a Bullpup and a Blue Comet. And we'll see who they'll call this one on.
Yeah, I was looking more downfield. I think you saw it better than I did here, Lane.
It's between Kyson Seamster and a Bullpup, and they're going to call it on McPherson. The white hat official did not have his mic turned on, so I'm assuming he said, there it is, face mask.
25.
Face mask away from the play, though, is interesting, unless they're saying that he made contact with Chris Harding's face mask, but they say face mask because the flag was thrown away from the play when it was back where Kyson Seamster was in the backfield, and it was about after the play, but that's a personal foul, and that moves Chanute to the McPherson 13-yard line and makes it 1st and 10 on the left hash. Under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Harding in the pistol. Now Jalen Duncan behind him in the backfield. They will hand it off. Duncan, nope, it's a reverse, and they're going to look to throw that Seamster. He cuts back left now at the 10. Berger trying to bring him down, and he gets some help doing so to the 7-yard line. That's a gain of 6 yards. Tried to go with a little bit of trickery. It just turns into a 6-yard run, and Matt Berger will have to go down. And it looks like he's limping a little bit, maybe cramping up with his left leg. So he'll go down, and they'll stop the clock because of it.
Yeah, I like the misdirection there for Chanute and try to hit a little bit of a shot play into the end zone. But that time the Bullpups defense held strong and used good eye discipline, stayed in coverage, and kind of blew up that play. But again, another 6-yard pickup there is ideal in that spot.
Injury timeout brought to you by Pyle Law. If you've been injured at work or in a car wreck, contact Pyle Law. They'll work to give you the options, to give you the benefits that you deserve. It does look like a cramp, and it was Matt Berger, who went down at the 5-yard line. Chanute will have 2nd down and 3 at the McPherson 7-yard line. While we have this pause in the action, do like to thank some of our sponsors for helping us out all year long. The Bradbury Company, The Hub, MTC, Gearing Hardware, Hutchinson Community College, Alliance Agency, APAC Shears, Raleigh Insurance, McPherson Dental Care, Pyle Law, The Finish, and Tallgrass Turf Solutions. Berger goes to the sideline under his own power and immediately gets a Gatorade bottle, which is filled with water, and then gets a refreshment so he can hydrate and get back in. Of course, he has to be out of play because he was whistled for the injury timeout. 2nd down, and they say about 3 or 4 yards at the 7-yard line. Clock rolling, 1:18 to go, third quarter. McPherson 35, Chanute 6. Harding in the pistol on the right hash, 2 by 2. They line up receivers wise. They will play action. Harding will keep finding the right edge, pushing forward, diving. He got the first down, but he's short of the goal line. He's at the 1 to make it 1st down and goal for the Blue Comets.
Yeah, he's hard to bring down, and when you're going a one-on-one versus a safety, you're 9 times out of 10, Chris Harding's going to try to win that one and will win that one. That time picked up the first down, picked up 6 yards, and that's going to be first and goal from the 1. But the last time they were 1 yard line, Bullpup stood up.
Well, that was on a 2-point conversion, though, and they go with that same formation with Duncan behind 2 fullbacks, and they will hand it off to Duncan, but he goes into the end zone untouched. Touchdown, Chanute. 38 seconds to go in the third quarter. That makes it 35-12 McPherson. We'll see what Chanute will do here, if they'll keep the offense on or they'll bring the PAT unit out.
Yeah, I would assume that they're going to bring the PAT unit out here to just get that 1 point and go on here into the fourth quarter, up 35 or down 35-13.
So 1 yard touchdown run by Jalen Duncan makes it 35-12. A couple of extra guys come in for Chanute late. They're still in a huddle with 15 on the play clock. Looks like they're not even ready, and the play clock's now down to 10, and now they do break it. The offense is on the field. They're going to try to go for 2 as now they hurry and get set. Play clock down to 5, down to 4, 3. Harding in the pistol, high snap, but collects it with his left hand. Here comes pressure, throws it across his body. It's knocked away and incomplete. No good on the conversion. Keeps it 35-12. McPherson with the lead. 38 seconds to go, third quarter.
And more important, I believe it keeps it at a 4-possession game.
If I'm doing the math right, that is 23. It can be 3 possessions because of a couple of 2-point conversions.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Still, 38 seconds to go, third quarter. We'll take a timeout. Bullpups with the lead, 35-12. Back after this. You're listening to Bullpup Football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
Parking lots and driveways can be expensive to install. This is Derek Fees. Let APAC Kansas Shears Division help you properly maintain these investments. Patching, crack filling, sealing, and striping are just some of the services we provide. Call APAC today at 620-662-2112.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
38 seconds to go in the third quarter. McPherson leading 35-12 over Chanute. The McPherson kickoff return team is on, but it looks like their onside kickoff return is or formation is on the field as we speak. But McPherson has some confusion because it looked like maybe they were missing a guy, but now they have 11. Malm is lined up deep. He's at about the 23-yard line, but the other 10 are between the 45 and 50 in McPherson territory.
Yeah, bring on the hands team here and try to get out here. Remember, the ball, you can go cross, or you can cross that yard line or that 50-yard line to touch the football and go get it. However, you got to be 100% certain because it does have to go 10 yards for the offense.
Correct. It'll be a normal kickoff, though, deep for Ashton Malm. It will bounce, and Malm does have to get the ball. He does have it at the 7, goes to the right side, then out of bounds across the 10 to about the 12 or 13-yard line, and it was a deep kick, but a good job by Ashton Malm. Yep, he did have to get it, and they kicked it away from Ashton, and that worked out pretty well for Chanute. McPherson's going to have it at their own 12.
Yeah, that is definitely the problem with going hands team in that spot is if they do kick it deep, you've only got one guy back. You don't have some blockers out in front for them, and it's easier to pin him back just a touch deeper.
Well, the offense back on the field. This is the third drive of the half. The first 2 have resulted in touchdowns. Only one offensive drive for McPherson did not result in a touchdown. That was to end the first half. Bankson in the pistol. Millicent is the tailback. They will hand it off. Millicent up the gut. He finds an opening at the 20. Sheds off a man at the 25. Drags a blue Comet with him to the 30. A gain of 18 yards on the first play of the drive. Millicent now slow in getting up, but he does get up under his own power, and he's good. First down for McPherson.
Yeah, right when we talked about pinning it back really deep, you get one 18-yard play by Millicent, and it picks up a first down, and now you're at the 30-yard line going in to this fourth quarter.
Well, the game clock is about half a second lower than the play clock, and McPherson's offense might just let this tick, tick, tick to the end of the third quarter. It looked like they were about to walk off the field, and it does look like they're going to do so. So, yeah, the game clock will run out about a half a second behind the game clock, I believe. Yep, just about. If it is in the threshold, the play clock did go out before, but it was under 1 second. And if it is under 1 second, they do give you that threshold to let it expire. So 3 quarters down, 1 to go. Hold your 4 fingers high. McPherson 35, Chanute 12. Fourth quarter action coming up next. You're listening to Bullpup Football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
On the basketball court, a good offense is the best defense. You can count on Farm Bureau agent Teresa Boken to be your family's point guard and defend you against whatever life throws your way. She's there to handle your auto, home, life, and business insurance needs. Don't wait for the worst to happen when it comes to your insurance. Talk to Farm Bureau agent Teresa Boken in Sterling today and see how she can protect what matters most.
Contact me, Teresa Boken in Sterling, at 620-278-2572.
Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company. Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company. Western Agriculture Insurance Company.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
McPherson 35, Chanute 12 through 3 quarters of play. Fourth quarter about to begin here. McPherson's home opener. Coverage of Bullpup Football brought to you by McPherson College. You bring the dream, we'll build the team. Success is a team effort. Begin building yours at McPherson College. It's a great day to be a Bulldog.
Go Dogs!
Fourth quarter about to begin. McPherson has first and 10 at their own 30. They'll hand it off. Millicent cuts to the right. He just had an 18-yard gain. He got met up hard at the 38-yard line. Good job early on, and then got met up by the middle line. But still, a gain of 9 yards is what the rule at second and short coming up for McPherson.
Hey, going into the fourth quarter, if you're getting 9, 10, 11 yards of rush right now, you're just going to keep handing it off to the guy to your left or right and just keep picking up chunk yards.
In the pistol, Bankton lines up. Motion up front. That was by Chanute, but they get back. They do not cross the line, so no penalty here. 2 receivers lined up wide to the left. Tight end receiver wide to the right. Play clock down to 10 as Bankton wipes off his hands on this muggy night in McPherson. Bankton still waiting, just waiting for the play clock to go down. It's down to 2. He gets it off and hands it off. Millicent, first down and more. Left side at the 45. Gets away at midfield. Down the sideline at the 45. 40. Tripped up inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. Brody Millicent's just a sophomore, but what a job that he has done in just the last game plus. Millicent will get a much-needed breather as he heads to the sideline, and the Bullpups move the chains again. First and 10 at the Chanute 33.
Yeah, just another excellent run, and he's got a top gear. He got to that top gear, just was unable to get past the safety who obviously had a 10-yard head start on him. But what an excellent job of running with the football in this drive.
In the pistol, Becker behind Bankton by about a couple of yards. There's also a man to his left hip pocket. 2 receivers wide to the left, 1 wide to the right. I think that's Carter Melton actually to his left hip pocket. Indeed it is. The sophomore backup tight end. Low snap but handed off cleanly. Becker, stutter step move left side 30. Gets the outside edge at the 25 as 2 Blue Comets run into each other. He gets pushed forward to the 24-yard line. A gain of 9 yards on first down by Dane Becker.
Again, like we talked about just a few moments ago, if you're going to pick up 9, 10 yards of a rush, or even like Brody Millicent's last run of 28, you're just going to keep handing it off. You're going to let this offensive line take over this football game, and much like you did last week, just run out the clock and impose your will on this Chanute front seven.
35-12, McPherson leads. Clock stops after going out of bounds. 10:20 to go, or 10:22 to go in the third quarter. Second down and 1 for McPherson at the Chanute 24-yard line. Becker in the backfield, Melton to the right hip pocket in the pistol for Carter Bankton. He'll get the snap, hand off. Becker cuts to the left side again. Now back right at the 20, lowers the head inside the 15 and down to the 13-yard line. That's an 11-yard gain this time for Dane Becker. First and 10. McPherson's now in the red zone.
Yeah, Lane, a little numbers update here. I've got Dane Becker at 75 yards and Brody Millicent at 98.
This offense has just been a wrecking crew over the past 2 weeks.
And you know, Lane, I kind of said it off air, mumbled it to myself a little bit, but there's so many different pieces you have to game plan for this offense, whether it be Brody Millicent or Dane Becker or Carter Bankston or even Ashton Mulm, and I guarantee one of these other wide receivers or tight ends are going to come through eventually.
Now in the I formation, play clock down to 2. They'll hand it off. Millicent cutting to the right, now up the middle, inside the 10 to the 5 and down to the 3-yard line. 4 rather. It's a gain of 9 yards to make it second down and 1 at the 4.
Remember how I said 98?
It's up to century mark now.
107.
There you go. This is a sophomore who had no varsity experience last year. 200 rushing yards last week. The first 200-yard rusher in 7 years in McPherson High School football. And he's backing it up 1 week later. McPherson up 35-12, 9:10 to go and ticking. Play clock at 20. McPherson's going to use up this clock, and they have 2nd down and 1 at the Chanute 4-yard line. They're knocking on the doorstep of extending the lead. Mason Miller's in at fullback in the I formation. Millicent in the backfield. Bankton takes the snap, hands it off, up the middle, got hit hard, got the first inside the 3-yard line. They'll mark it, I think, right at the 3 for a move of the chains. And first down. I have not seen a marker, but yep, they will. Move the chains, first down, McPherson.
Number 67, Carter Knapp.
Right now, they're just following Jace Gunn, Braxton Burgess, and Creighton Bird. Creighton Bird last year was an all-league honorable mention offensive lineman for this football team, and he's having an even better year, in my opinion, right now. Standing at 6'1", 265 pounds as the senior. The oldest guy on the line, well, him and Braxton Burgess, the oldest guys on the line, they're following him right now.
There's 2 juniors and a sophomore, too. Same formation as last time. First and goal at the 3 for McPherson. Clock ticking, 8.5 minutes to go. Handoff, Millicent to the right side, pushing, driving, but he goes no further than the line of scrimmage. And that's it. Just no gain for Brody Millicent. Makes it 2nd and goal.
But again,
how about, one thing before you go into what you're going to say. Dylan Hall was 7 yards deep in the end zone blocking somebody. How terrific is that?
And you know what, Lane? If you look at one play, it could be all 5 of them.
Yeah.
Or another one of them. Last week we saw Jace Gunn 14, 15 yards down the field. But Dylan Hall, like you said, 6 foot 220, left tackle, first team all offensive line last year as well, or all league offensive line. So, and I think they're all having better years than what they did last year.
Mm-hmm. 2nd and goal at the 3. They did say no gain. Play clock down to 6, down to 5. Same formation. Millicent the tailback and Miller the fullback. This time they toss it out. Now Millicent driving right side. He's at the 1. Did he cross the goal line? Yes, he did. Touchdown, McPherson. Brody Millicent has had a terrific couple of weeks. Tacks it off with a touchdown here today with 7:27 to go. McPherson up 41-12.
If you try once and you don't succeed, probably try again. I mean, Brody Millicent tried that first time, went right behind the center guard. That time they decided, you know what, they're really hugging those center guard combos right now. Let's take it right off the right of right tackle McCoy Berggren, and he powers his way into the end zone.
Jackson Hoover to try to make it 42-12. 6 touchdowns on offense for McPherson in this game. High snap, but a good hold. A kick on the way, and it does split the uprights. It is good. 42-7. McPherson, 7:27 to go in the ball game. They lead Chanute. We're back after this. You're listening to McPherson High School football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
If you can't remember the last time you reviewed your insurance, you're not alone. Alliance Agency Inc. and Buckeye Insurance Group work together to make sure you are properly covered. Call the friendly, knowledgeable staff of Alliance Agency Inc. at 620-241-0213. They'll provide service that exceeds expectations and coverage that meets your needs. Buckeye Insurance Group and Alliance Agency Inc. Working together to protect you.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
McPherson 42, Chanute 12. You know, Nathan, when we came into the stadium today, we knew this was going to be a good game. I don't think we thought that this was going to go to this height. Now, McPherson, yeah, we know that their offense has been pretty darn legit, but it's just been a wrecking crew offensively for McPherson. Most recently, Brody Millicent cashing in with a 3-yard touchdown run. And what a home opener for the Bullpups.
Yeah, I think, Lane, every week it seems to be somebody new. Mm-hmm. First week it was Dane Becker. Last week it was Brody Millicent. This week, right now, it's been Ashton Malm and a little bit of Brody Millicent there on that last drive, but a lot of Ashton Malm. And quite honestly, like we talked about in the last drive, this is such a multiple offense that could go in so many different directions.
And so in kickoff is underway, returned at the 5, up the middle, across the 22. They'll say down at the 23-yard line after getting hit from behind on that return by Kyson Seamster. Chanute takes over. First down and 10 at their own 24 is where they mark it, actually down 42-12.
And you know what, Lane? We talked about how I just said how multiple this offense is, but the thing that I'm most pleased with here tonight as well is for the second week in a row, this Bullpups defense and mainly this Bullpups linebacking core and safeties / corners, so the secondary has stopped a really, really, really good quarterback.
Indeed. Well, it's going to be a new quarterback coming in for Chanute. We'll double check on who that is. I think it's Gage Frizzell. Nope, it's not, but they'll hand it off. Going to the right side. Nope, Harding still in. That's my apologies. That is Chris Harding still in, but handed off to Duncan on the right side. A gain of, no gain on that play. Makes it second down and 10.
But what you do have now, Lane, is a bunch of new defenders in the game for the Bullpups with some of the backups and younger guys coming in.
Yeah, indeed you do. 6:50 and ticking. McPherson 42, Chanute 12 here in this fourth quarter. The home opener for McPherson, which was delayed quite a bit due to lightning in the area, but McPherson has had the momentum from start to finish. Harding throws far side. It is caught down the sideline at the 25. It's Small, cutting right at the 30, but then gets hit at the 32, goes no further. Brings it a gain of 8 yards and third down and 2 for Chanute.
Yeah, just another backwards pass that was completed out to Small. Last time he had that play, picked up about 15 yards. This time just about 8. So just getting it out into playmakers' space and forcing some of these younger guys who are just getting their first reps on varsity this year, try to get them out into space and go one-on-one with them.
Clock continuing to run, 6:05 to go. Harding will work in the pistol, trips to the right, one receiver wide to the left. Duncan in the backfield, about 2 yards behind. They will hand it off to Duncan, who's met immediately. He sheds off of it, though, goes up the middle, around to the sticks, and he just got it by about a half a yard. What a good job, the stick-to-itiveness by the junior Jalen Duncan, who gets past the original line and gets the first down. Needed one, and he got about 3.
Yeah, had a couple Bullpup defenders with some arm tackles, but when you're trying to bring down a 5 foot 10, 172-pound running back in Jalen Duncan, arm tackles aren't going to be good enough.
Backup linebacker Asher Allen makes the tackle, the 5'8 junior. First down and 10 for Chanute at their own 36 on the left hash. 5.5 minutes remaining. McPherson up by 30. Tailback to the right hip pocket. Harding looks to throw, dumps it into the flats near side, caught on the run, and Duncan has got an opportunity across midfield, but out of bounds he goes across the 45 to the McPherson 42-yard line. And that is a gain of 22 yards to move the chains to make it 1st and 10 in McPherson territory for the Blue Comets, and that does stop the clock after he went out of bounds.
Yeah, just the Bullpups left the entire this side of the field wide open, and Jalen Duncan was able to sneak out of the backfield, catch it out in the flat, and pick up a big chunk play there and set up the Chanute offense in Bullpup territory.
1st and 10 at the McPherson 42 on the right hash. Play clock down to 6. Again, game clock not moving. Harding in the pistol. Duncan 2 yards behind him. Trips to the left. They'll look to throw. Harding steps up. Launches. It is over the head of the intended man. Incomplete. A bit too high for DeCoven Lloyd Jr. on the far end. And good job defensively by McPherson as well. That makes it 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, just another pass that's just been slightly off for Chris Harding, or the second. And it's kind of been like that all night. He's had spurts where he's completed those passes and has looked really good. But for the most part tonight, he's just been slightly off. I don't know if it's been the drive or the delay or if it's been this Bullpups defense. I'm going to say it's the Bullpups defense, though.
Felipe Barrera Prado, the one to break it up, the backup linebacker. 2nd down and 10. He'll look to throw again. Harding immediately. It is too high again and incomplete. Just out of the fingertips on the far side of the receiver, Kyson Seamster. Or correction, that's Lloyd again. And that makes it 3rd and 10, 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, that one you gotta. I almost want to put the blame a little bit on the wide receiver. That wasn't that errand of a throw. I mean, it was high and just almost out of the reach, but you did get your hands on it and your fingers on it. Just went right through it. But 3rd down and 10. Had some good coverage there, but just not quite the coverage you would want there in that spot.
They're at the McPherson 42, 42-12. McPherson leads over Chanute here in this fourth quarter. Looking to throw, Harding fires out of the flats. It's knocked away and incomplete. That goes out of the hands of Jalen Duncan, the tailback on a wheel route, and that one just slipped through his mitts. 4th down and 10 for Chanute.
Yeah, the perfect play was on. Bullpups brought pressure. You wanted to get the running back out and onto the seam on the little wheel route, or the wheel seam route, I'll call it. But that time the pass just came in a little bit too hot, and the Bullpups set up 4th down and 10 from the 42.
4:55 to go. Clock stops on the incompletion. Harding in the shotgun. 2 receivers side by side on each side. On the right hash, Duncan in the backfield to his left hip pocket. Harding, chest high snap, rolls to his left, looks to throw. He's going to uncork one-on-one. It is knocked away and incomplete. Colt Chapman knocks it away, or was that L'Jarius Sneed? Boy, it looked like it. What a job by Colt Chapman to break it up and turn it over on downs for Chanute's offense, and McPherson will take over at their own 42.
What a play by Colt Chapman, coming over from a safety position in perfect coverage, used the left hand to perfection and broke up that play. My, oh my, what a great job by Colt Chapman.
So now McPherson will bring in their second-string offense. Brady Rinker will come in as the quarterback, getting his first playing time of the season. He did get one pass completed last year, but they'll hand it off out of the backfield. The tailback getting wrestled down, Justin Bagby. We heard his name a little bit last year, but now he gets his name called and gains 5 on his first carry of the game.
Yeah, if you're going to come in as a backup, you want to put good film on tape, and Bagby came in, good pickup of 5. That's good tape to put out there.
Clock moving, 4:20 to go in the ball game. McPherson leading 42-12 over Chanute, and what a game for the McPherson Bullpups. Chanute came in ranked by the media as the number 5 team in 4A. McPherson receiving votes, and the Bullpups will now work into the pistol. Rinker, the quarterback, 2 receivers wide right, 1 wide to the left, plus a tight end, but they'll hand it off. Bagby near side, tried to find the edge, but he only got a yard before being tripped up on the outside edge, and that'll bring up 3rd down and medium for McPherson.
Yeah, if this group on the offense can get themselves a first down, they'd set them up pretty good to kind of finish out the game with the ball and not have to give it back to Chanute at all.
Gain of 1, 3rd down and 4 coming up for the McPherson Bullpups. 3.5 minutes left and ticking. And they're going to use up as much clock as they can. Rinker will work out of the pistol again. 2 receivers wide right, 1 wide to the left, plus a tight end to the right side or right behind the right tackle. Handoff again. Rinker, or rather Bagby, gets tripped up in the backfield and loses a couple of yards to bring up 4th down. But it looked like a little miscommunication between Rinker and Bagby. Rinker kind of held onto the ball for about a half a second more. 4th down coming up for McPherson. Offense still on the field.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked here if they did that the modified punt here where Rinker just takes a few steps back and punts the football. However, I wouldn't be shocked if with the young guys in here, they go for this on 4th down.
Yeah, this is not about, I heard about it from the college coach, Jeremiah Fiskus. He's not about running up the score. He's about letting guys develop, and that's what's happening here. 4th down and 6, high snap play action. Rinker rolls to the right, and he's got guys. He throws it a little too high, incomplete. Now, there were a couple of receivers on the far end, and I think it hit off of the fingertips of Caleb Postier, and also Adrian Unruh was in the area, but I think it hit Postier's fingertips first, so it's a turnover on downs with 2:25 to go. Chanute takes over.
Yeah, 2:20, like you said, 2:25 to go, 42-12. Chanute's kind of, again, you take the score out of this and not to steal a line from the Nebraska head coach Matt Rule again, but who cares what the score is? Just go put good film on tape, and that's what I think this focus has got to be for the last 2:25.
Does look like it. Chanute will have it at the McPherson 46-yard line on the left hash. And now this time the backup quarterback will come in. Gage Frizzell, the son of head coach Cleet Frizzell for Chanute. And Gage is a freshman as he takes a high snap, fires immediately, caught right side at the 42 pushing forward for an extra yard to get to the 41 to gain 5 on first down. But Frizzell's a freshman. He's 6'1", 175. This guy is tall for a freshman, and he possibly could be the QB of the future.
Yeah, I mean, just one throw in. I was pretty impressed by that throw there. That had some good zip on it. He got it out in stride. It was really kind of the perfect ball for that throw.
Gain of 5, second down and 5 on the right hash with 1:55 remaining in the ball game. McPherson 42, Chanute 12. Frizzell will line up in the pistol with a man a little behind him, but to his right hip pocket. I want to say that's Patterson. High snap, but Frizzell will keep it right side, looking for an opening 35. It gets the first down, lowers the head, and goes down to the 30-yard line. An 11-yard gain from Frizzell to make it 1st and 10 for Chanute. Because it's a first down, it stops the clock momentarily, but there's 95 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, with a little bit of a broken play there and some miscommunication, Frizzell showed a good IQ there just to kind of take it upfield. He followed some blockers out in front and picked up a good 11 yards on the play. An excellent job.
Clock now running. Frizzell lines up in the pistol again with a tailback right behind him. 2 by 2 they line up on the right hash. Movement up front. Bullpup crosses the line, and a flag will come in for an offside. That's Javante Body who crossed the line. And because he crossed, and even in high school, it doesn't matter if you make contact, anything. You cross the line, that's a flag automatically, and that'll make it 1st down and 5 following the penalty.
Yeah, some of these young guys been standing for a while. They're getting a little antsy and want to make a play, and I respect the effort there, and quite honestly, I'm not overly upset about the foul.
Clock runs again, less than a minute remaining with McPherson ready to go back home a winner. They are at home in their home opener, but what a statement win this is, up 42-12. They'll snap it, fire left side a bit too high and incomplete to make it 2nd down and 10. That was intended for Logan Axelson, the senior, but just a touch too high. 2nd down and 5 for Chanute. Clock stops on the incompletion at 46 seconds.
Yeah, both sides getting some of the younger guys in there to get some reps. These are, and I know head coach Jace Pavlovich would say the exact same thing. These are valuable for these kids. They don't often get a ton of reps, and so when you do get up or down big, throw those guys in there and get them some reps early, so when they do eventually have to take over this program, they're in a good spot.
In the pistol again, 2nd down and 5 on the right hash. Frizzell, play action, rolls to his left, trying to find anybody. Now across the middle, he fires, and it's caught around the 20, but just before that actually, and it will be a gain of about 3 yards, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 2, but the clock continues to tick, 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 tick with 30 seconds left. Chanute probably going to try to come together and run at least one more play before calling it a night.
Bullpups are kind of lining up, ready to go, but man, on a night where there's been a long delay, and they're going to run up and run this 3rd down play here, but on a night that they had a long delay, the Bullpups have come out hot.
5 seconds left. On 3rd down, they'll hand it off. This is the last play of the game to the right side. It's a tackle for loss for Javante Body, and the clock reaches 000. Lightning will not stop the dominance of the Bullpups. They come home for the first time this year and make a statement. Final score, McPherson 42, Chanute 12. We're back after this for the Bullpup Locker Room Show. You're listening to McPherson High School football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
Coverage of Bullpup football continues next with the Bullpup Locker Room Show. On the way, we'll recap tonight's game, and we'll hear the post-game thoughts of head coach Jace Pavlovich. 98.9 and 1540 KMCP. The McPherson Bullpups play here.
Start your home remodel at The Finish Flooring Interiors. From stunning Mohawk flooring to Kansas-made onyx or custom cabinetry, we've got the style and quality you need and the professionals to put it together. Find us at Euclid and Main in McPherson, because every great home starts with The Finish.
Your health matters, and so does being close to the care you need. McPherson Center for Health offers compassionate care right here in your community. McPherson Center for Health, caring for you close to home.
Hi,
This is Lucas Raleigh with Raleigh Insurance. If you're thinking about shopping your business's insurance, let us do the shopping for you with our newly expanded markets and carriers. As an independent agency, we've been working with large commercial accounts to small family businesses across Kansas for over 50 years. Check out RaleighInsurance.biz, see me in Little River, or stop by Raleigh Insurance in Inman or Lyons today.
Since 1965, your choice for home, auto, farm, and commercial insurance. Raleigh Insurance. Get your free quote today.
Hi, I am Josh French, owner of Tallgrass Turf Solutions here in McPherson. We're here for all of your turf management and lawn care needs. We offer many services including fertilization, weed control, disease control, and prevention, aeration, lawn repair and maintenance, and much more. Plus, we can install new lawns and irrigation systems. Find us online at tallgrassturfsolutions.com. Tallgrass Turf Solutions here in McPherson. We build gorgeous, self-sustaining lawns.
Great news! Pools Plus is extending the fair spa sale through the end of September. All in-stock spas are at an all-time low and ready to be delivered. Call 620-662-0202 to schedule your pool closing. Shop local, shop Pools Plus, 21 East 1st in downtown Hutchinson.
At Mid-Kansas Credit Union, we live by our motto, grounded in the past, growing for the future. We are a full-service credit union with offices in Mound Ridge and Buhler. Mid-Kansas Credit Union would like to wish all the athletes the best of luck as they compete this season.
Bullpup Football on KMCP.
Welcome to the Bullpup Locker Room Show. McPherson makes a statement win, 42-12 over Chanute in their home opener, a game that was delayed by about 20 minutes because of lightning in the area and started it a little bit late, and McPherson kept the ball rolling offensively. 8 total drives, 6 total touchdowns, 4 of which passing touchdowns from Carter Bankson to Ashton Malm, 3 in the first half, 1 in the second half. Individually, Nathan, what do you have?
Yeah, I'm first going to start off. I mean, Chanute coming away with 283 yards total, 196 came on the ground with their running back, Jalen Duncan, with 110 yards rushing. Harding the second had 36 yards rushing. And Bo Small ended up with 23 yards rushing. Were kind of the notables there. In the air, the big damage was done by Kyson Seamster with 31 yards receiving over 4 catches, and they had 87 passing yards tonight. But then you switch over to the Bullpups, where they had 485 unofficial total yards, with 198 of those coming on the ground, with Dane Becker with 75, and Brody Millison with another century mark run with 111 tonight. And then as well as Bagby getting 4 yards when the backups and the younger guys came in the game. But where the damage was really done is in the air for the Bullpups. 287 yards of offense through the air, with Ashton Malm going for 5 catches for 4 touchdowns and 218 yards receiving. Wow. Another notable would have been Bo Barkley with 34 yards receiving as well.
Incredible by the Bullpup offense, just running it up. In the first half, how it started, McPherson forced a turnover on downs defensively. Then they were able to get their first offensive drive capped off by a 44-yard touchdown pass, Carter Bankson to Ashton Malm. That made it 7-0. McPherson's defense held true again, forcing a punt. Then a 58-yard touchdown pass from Bankson to Malm made it 14-0. Chanute finally got on the board with a 60-yard touchdown run. The PAT was no good. It made it 14-6, but McPherson turned it around the very next possession, making it 21-6 on a drive that went 3 minutes 51 seconds with a 39-yard touchdown pass, Bankson to Malm. It was 21-6 at halftime. McPherson led over Chanute, and then in the second half, McPherson had the ball to start off, drove down the field on the very first drive, capped off by a 7-yard touchdown run by Dane Becker. After forcing a fumble on what was a 4th down and long that was converted, and then getting the fumble recovery, a 65-yard touchdown pass, Carter Bankson to Ashton Malm on a screen pass, made it 35-6 on the game. Chanute then turned it around and got back onto the board to make it 35-12 after a 1-yard touchdown run. But then McPherson answered once again with a 3-yard touchdown run by Brady Millison, capping off an 88-yard drive. McPherson wins 42-12 over Chanute here today. We'll be back in a moment. When we return, we'll talk with head coach Jace Pavlovich. But before we go to a break, we'd like to thank our friends at Next Tech Wireless. You could stream today's broadcast with the Ad Astra Radio app powered by Next Tech Wireless, where you can find the latest phones and devices at the best prices. We're back after this to talk with Coach Pavlovich. You're listening to Bullpup Football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
More of the Bullpup Locker Room Show is next. Stay tuned as we name tonight's play and player of the game. Find exclusive stories highlighting Bullpup athletics at adastraradio.com. 98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
This is Darren Eddy with Ag 360 Insurance in Inman. For years, we've been known for our great service with our ag customers. But did you know we can handle your family or small business insurance needs as well? We would love an opportunity to sit down and visit with you about what we can do for you. As an independent agency, we can shop different coverage options for you. Stop by our office on Old K61 in Inman or give Cody Moores or myself a call today at 620-585-2128. Or check us out online at ag360insurance.com.
The new Reinke E3 uses high-strength steel because it's tried and true. Why mess with perfection? The industry's highest strength-to-weight ratio is used in all Reinke systems. At Reinke, you can take your pick from a range of materials to fend off corrosion and cater to your specific needs. Contact your local Reinke dealer, Bullseye Irrigation of Inman, today. Reinke uses common sense just like you do. Discover common sense. Discover the new E3. Bullseye Irrigation of Inman is your Reinke dealer. Reinke, more right than rain.
Controlling your own weather can be easier than controlling anything else these days. This is Julie with RC Heating and Cooling. With a well-working cooling and heating system, you can be in control of your indoor weather at home. With so many things out of our hands, it's a good feeling to have a bit of stability. Call RC for a free estimate on new cooling and heating equipment. Call RC when your unit isn't up to par. Call RC to stay comfortable in any weather. Call RC 241-2787.
Do you have plans this weekend? How about spending a little time working on some of those touch-up jobs around the house? With Do It Best quality paints, you can expect the highest quality and beauty. Do It Best quality paints is easy to apply and clean up, and you'll love the results. Stop by Gearing Hardware in Moundridge. One of our friendly staff members will help you choose the right Do It Best quality paints, color, and supplies you need to get those touch-up jobs accomplished.
Bullpup Football on KMCP.
Welcome back to the Bullpup Locker Room Show, where McPherson gets a statement win over Chanute 42-12 here in their home opener. We're joined alongside head coach Jace Pavlovich, and I think we're both kind of sharing the emotion of just shock, but in a good way, because this was incredible.
Guys, they're a really good football team, and 5 in the state, and they're deserving of it. And we came out firing on all cylinders tonight. I can't give enough credit to Coach Montgomery calling the offense and coming up with a great game plan. Coach Harlan defensively, same thing. Those guys are grinders. They're workers, and they put the kids in the right position, and our kids executed incredibly well tonight.
There was one name, obviously, that stuck out. That's Ashton Malm, who had over 200 receiving yards, 5 catches, 4 of them being touchdowns. There's one word that you used off the air about what Ashton Malm is, and that's special.
He's special. There's times where he just takes off, and you're like, great play call, I guess. It's a great play call when Zero's touching the ball, I guess. But yeah, he's special. Someone we haven't talked about all season is Carter Bankston. We have put a ton on his plate. We've really expanded our RPO game. He's making all the right reads. He's making all the right decisions. It's not something that, the casual fan necessarily notices, but, man, is he doing a really good job for us. So, and offensive line again, paving the way. We had a bunch of receivers catching balls. Ingles got 2 catches right off the bat in that first drive. And, defensively – played well, just got out of position at times. I tell you, that quarterback is damn good. He's the real deal, and we were able to kind of contain him a little bit, and just overall proud of our guys.
And just to kind of build off of what you said about Carter Bankston, I think what the total was about 280 passing yards, something like that today. But there was one drive we were really impressed with, and that was, 2 or 3 straight throws on the run to Bo Barkley.
Yeah.
And Barkley catching him in stride, just nickel and diming him with some chunk plays. But Bankson just making all those right moves and right plays. And there's sometimes, you'll see me at practice and I'll see Bankson feet set, still throw it 40, 45 yards down, and I'm just like, that just seems unfair.
Well, and he can throw on the run. We love those baseball guys at quarterback. I mean, we've been starting them for years and years and years. And, he gained valuable experience at the varsity level as a freshman in baseball, and he's a special baseball player too. So that's definitely been good that, it really helps when you get multi-sport athletes out there athletically. And, a couple other kids that thought really played well tonight. Two of our defensive ends, Barkley and Stutzman, those guys really played well. That first touchdown they got, ran a power play. We had the box loaded up. We played it well, and then he just bounced it and, made a mistake with alignment. But, good teams will do that to you.
Well, now next week you head on the road. You have a lengthy road trip, but not as long as Chanute's, unfortunately for them. But Winfield still, longest road trip of the season, I believe. And you're going to try to cap off the first half of the season going 3-1. So just what are you looking forward to for practice this upcoming week and preparing for Winfield? Well,
again, we got to have a great week of practice. Winfield's very well coached. They got some special players on that side. I don't know what they did tonight, but it's always going to be a dogfight down in Winfield. But, this group of guys, what kind of sets them apart from some groups we've had is they really enjoy playing football, and it shows. So, practice-wise, things were good this week. And you don't beat teams on Friday night. You beat them through the course of the week, every day through the course of the week. And I felt like we did that this week. And, winning football games is really hard. And, sometimes there came a point where, I took things for granted in winning these games. And that's not going to happen anymore. So we're definitely going to cherish this one tonight. And, of course, we'll get back to work tomorrow.
Lastly, the atmosphere, home opener. Even sitting through the conditions, waiting a little bit longer for the first home snap of the season, still showing out in droves tonight.
I tell you, I don't know how to explain it. I wish people could come down on the sidelines and experience what we experienced. The crowd was amazing. The band was amazing. The drum line was amazing. It just, when you have this in your community and when you have the support that we have, people want to play football. And that's how we've been able to sustain things, because of the support that we've had. And there's a bunch of young kids running on the field right now that want to be a bullpup in the future. And that's, again, it comes back to the community support we've got, and that's how you do it.
For sure. Coach, congratulations on the win, and we'll see you again next week.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Head Coach Jace Pavlovich talking to us on the headset, and now time to give you the play of the game. It's the Hub Brick Oven play of the game as we continue on, as McPherson won over Chanute 42-12. And Nathan, a lot of obviously terrific plays, but if there's one that stood out to you, what is it?
Yeah, that jailbreak 65-yard screen here to Ashton Malm. I think that one kind of set the tone, or it was kind of the dagger, if you will, for the game against the Chanute defense, and from there on, they knew it was going to be an uphill battle.
That is the Hub Brick Oven play of the game, featuring their world-famous brick oven pizza. Get your grub at the Hub, located at 100 South Christian in Mound Ridge. When we return, we will give you some scoreboard updates, give you our player of the game, brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, and then some final thoughts on tonight's contest. Again, McPherson defeats Chanute 42-12 in their home opener. McPherson improves to 2-1 on the season. This is Bullpup Football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
Tonight's coverage of Bullpup Football continues next. KMCP is McPherson's news, sports, and classic hits. Lane Gillespie brings you Bullpup Football Friday nights on 98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
When you bank with Great Plains Federal Credit Union, you're more than a customer. You're a member and an owner. That means fewer fees, better rates, and real people who care about you and your financial goals. Stop by one of our convenient locations in McPherson, Salina, Abilene, or Hillsborough and experience the credit union difference today. Great Plains Federal Credit Union in McPherson, member NCUA.
Whether you want a small home remodel or need repairs done or have a brand new build project in mind, Erickson Custom Building is your choice. All of us at Erickson Custom Building would like to thank our customers for 20 years of business and friendship. Brian and the crew at Erickson have spent those years developing excellent customer service and quality leadership for all types of projects, big or small, traditional or trendy. When your project is finished, it will reflect your vision for quality and follow-through that exceeds your expectations, not your budget. Call Erickson Custom Building or find us on the web at ericksoncustombldg.com.
With all the financial headlines, are you wondering if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. Hi, I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Derek Bergen. If you have more questions than answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by our office at 421 North Main Street, McPherson, or give us a call at 620-242-1480. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC.
Fall projects piling up? Then it's time to gear up and save big at Prairie Land Partners John Deere. Right now, get up to $6,500 off select compact utility tractors, plus $2,000 on select Gator utility vehicles. Whether it's chores, projects, or property maintenance, you'll be ready to tackle it all year long. Visit prairielandpartners.com or stop by to learn more. Offer ends September 30th. Some restrictions apply. See Prairie Land Partners for details.
Prairie Land Partners. Bullpup football on KMCP.
Welcome back for the final time at McPherson Stadium. The Bullpups get the win over Chanute 42-12 in their home opener here tonight. Before we talk any further, let's talk about the People's Bank and Trust Player of the Game. And Nathan, you said you could give it to just about anyone. I mean, I know Ashton had a terrific game, but there are a lot of guys that were deserving of being player of the game today.
Yeah, let's go obvious. Let's go co-player of the game here.
Okay.
Let's go Ashton Malm, obviously. 5 catches, 4 tutties, 218 yards. But let's also give it to the guy, and I would agree with head coach Jace Pavlovich here. We don't talk about him enough. Let's also talk about Carter Bankston, and he is right. And in the RPO game, when you are making the right read and making the right throws, no one's going to talk about it, especially at this level of football. But he is doing that. You're not having to talk about it. You're not having to say that he made a bad read there because he's making all the right reads, and that's why I think he is deserving. Also, unofficially threw for 287 yards. So it'll all work out. Plus, he had 4 touchdowns on the game, too.
For sure. So, yeah, co-players of the game brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, community banking at its best with 21 locations in Kansas. This is People's Country. Before we give you more of the McPherson Dental Care scoreboard update, let's thank our sponsors, McPherson Center for Health, McPherson Laundry, Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, Pools Plus, Mid-Kansas Credit Union, and Bullseye Irrigation. This obviously game ended a little bit later than most because there was the 20 to 30-minute lightning delay before the game even started. So we do have some scores coming in. There were some that did start late as well, but also here's some final scores. This is one I kind of had my eye on, and I talked about it pregame, and this does not affect anybody here, but a big game in the state of Kansas, Manhattan at Hayes. Number 1 in 6A Manhattan at number 2 in 5A Hayes. Manhattan just squeaked it out, winning 10-8 over Hayes. Republic County defeats Lyons 30-8. Sterling up over Inman 60-47. That was the final score. Southeast of Saline defeating Beloit 50-0. Mound Ridge over Medicine Lodge 28-21. Bueller falls to Great Bend 38-14. Cheney defeats Garden Plain 28-7. Smoky Valley falls to Haven 38-6 in their home opener. We're still waiting on an update for Heston at Hillsboro. They did have a couple of times where they were delayed due to lightning, but in the third quarter, it was Heston up 50-20. That's got to be a high-scoring affair just a few minutes down the road. Let's see. I think that's just about it for around the area. Here's a final as well. Andale defeating Rose Hill 53-13. It's not often that you say a team scoring 53 points in football. That's about 20 points less than their season average. But that's what happened with Andale here today. But they still won over Rose Hill 53-13. So those scoreboard updates are brought to you by McPherson Dental Care, providing healthy smiles with a gentle touch. Before we get out of here, Nathan, final thoughts on the game. What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing more you can say than just an absolute dominant performance here tonight by the Bullpups. They came out ready to go. They had a nice, excellent drive. Their first 15, or the script, first 15 offensive script was immaculate, and they They executed it to perfection defensively. They got stops when they needed to get stops. Yes, they were out of position a few times and gave up a couple of touchdowns, but that's going to happen against a really good team and Chanute, and against a really good quarterback and Chris Harding. But again, I there's only optimism from here. There's not really a ton that you're going to say, you know what, that needs to get fixed before next week.
For sure. Well, the Bullpups will be on the road against Winfield. We'll have coverage of that game here on KMCP. But that's going to do it for us. Special thanks to Sherry Bruce in the studio and for live stream coordinator Jeremy Snap for helping us out this evening. Alongside Nathan Roble, this is Lane Gillespie. So long from McPherson Stadium. Again, the final score, McPherson Bullpups defeat the Chanute Blue Comets 42-12 here in the McPherson home opener. This has been coverage of McPherson High School football on 98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
At Midway Motors, we are here for you for every mile of life. Whether you're shopping for a new or used vehicle or selling one, Midway Motors will buy your vehicle even if you're not in the market to buy one of ours.